Hello everyone, Connor here. Just as a small disclaimer, some things we may talk about on the pod shouldn't be attempted or recreated. Remember to keep everything legal, keep it between the ages, and don't tear up the ground while you're on the pull. Well folks, how are you? Technology has taken over, as you can see.
Ta-da! And you're
reading
holding
off a teleprompter.
and you're also holding the microphone in your hand.
Yeah, because for the shits and giggles. So,
I don't know if I like that.
well, folks, how are you getting on? You're listening to the Christmas special.
Yo.
Sponsored by Lidl.
Do you know I bought these in
And-
2023?
and also Monk and Sons, because I'm that cold, I need the two hats. You're listening to the, as usual, Agri Automotive Podcast by ourselves at Limited Slip Differences. Your perfect blend of cars, tractors, and seemingly everything in between.
Literally everything in between.
I am Connor.
I am Michael, what's the crack? And we are on episode 73, which is basically just going to be a roundup of the year, bit of a Christmas special. We just go through some of the highlights of everything we chatted shit about throughout the year.
We heard you didn't want to yarn, so we just thought we'd do a roundup. Hold on a minute to change the teleprompter.
Anyway, moving
Teleprompter
swiftly
has now
on.
been set up. You didn't see anything. You'll probably edit that out. Maybe you won't. I don't know.
There's certain bits that'll be edited out. Might keep some of it in.
Um,
We'll see where the mood takes me when I'm editing, I guess.
my arm might grow at times trying to reach my tin.
I definitely think that we need to make a V-shaped table.
So,
We're trialing this. We're basically just trialing this because
if you ever wondered where Michael led his dinner,
this was the table
not in here,
in our
but
house. Yeah,
this is his dinner table.
yeah, this was the table in our house, and basically we've got a new one. So it's handy for us to like see the time and stuff like that because we were always like looking over there.
And guess what? Ironically, he can't even see the time.
Yeah, my vision's got shit like. And yeah, it's harder to see anything. I bet I could probably zoom on it to be fair, like, but do you know that would just be intelligent, and I'm not.
You are very intelligent.
Not tonight. I'm not. Anyway, Connor, what the fuck is new?
So, this is obviously the last podcast of the year. Big massive thank you first of all to everyone that's had us in your Spotify Wrapped.
Yeah, that was actually really surprising. To be honest, I didn't expect to see as many.
For all the 722.
Yep, 722
I got it
top.
right this time.
Top. We were top. I know that's probably nothing compared to the likes of some of the other podcasts.
It wouldn't
but
matter if there's 2 or 22, but there was 722 obvious, and it's feels amazing.
And
that we're freezing the balls of ourselves for a reason, you know.
nearly 5,000 top fives. Genuinely, yeah. I couldn't believe it when I was going through.
Fuck.
Yeah, but then I think, to be fair, a lot of people who listen to us like kind of listen to us. You know, if we appeal, we kind of appeal, sort of thing. I think there's quite a few ones like we're really the only podcast they listen to.
Sorry, just turning the bleeper off.
I'll show you after, but genuinely, yeah, like 722 top and I think it's like 4.8k top fives.
That's just phenomenal.
We were number 41 in the UK charts for a few days. Yeah. I don't know what way it counts UK. I'm assuming probably Northern Ireland. So
Wouldn't matter.
it wouldn't matter. But we do. So, and we have our listener base is basically Australia, New Zealand, America, UK, and Ireland. So that's where our biggest crowds are. So it's nice to see the boys across the way are listening. And also a lot of like the locals from likes of Australia and New Zealand. We have, you know, there's lads who message me in Snapchat that listen. From
Here, look, it's class. It's phenomenal.
Reagan Bailey, New Zealand, we're his number one.
Shout
out to Reagan.
It's fucking class.
Well, not get too big for our boots, like, but
No. But the only way I suppose we can do is go up and
keep the show on the road.
there's a couple of ideas. Michael's kitchen table is
basically just a tester
Yes.
to kind of see. It's a bit. It is a good table, to be fair, but
you did just put a block of wood on it
Yeah.
or plank of wood on it and screw it down to it.
Yeah, like in an ideal world, would like to have like a big V shape, so like me and Connor can kind of sit and talk across.
And be able to see our technological devices.
Basically, we can nearly be sitting kind of nearly on top of like the laptop and the Mac or the iPad and stuff. And as I say, it's handier for us to can't see what we're doing.
Of course, and we can play with our hands and no, you can't see it.
Yeah, true. I mean, what are you doing with your hand?
Warming them. Honestly, thanks everyone for listening in 2025. Hopefully we can continue this mad sesh in 2026. Session as in every 2 weeks we get to hear me talk and we freeze the balls of ourselves for 6 months of the year.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes, yeah. That sounds about right.
So in regards to what's new with myself, if anybody was listening to the last podcast, all 722 of you, good lads and ladies, and
we don't discriminate.
I had the red tractor inspection coming up. We passed, thankfully. Small niggles to take care of, but sure, at the end of the day, they're out to keep us on our toes and make sure we're doing their job right and make sure we're doing it to the highest standard possible. And thankfully, from what we have gotten to fix, we're nearly there. We just have to do a wee few odds and ends to get there. Other than that, as probably as this comes out, I suppose hopefully things will have died down a good bit, but I suppose to all the farmers affected by the recent findings by the Department of Agriculture of blue tongue, in Northern Ireland, it more or less, I think it's the same as what it is in mainland UK. Hopefully they can get on top of things and everyone can go back to normal fairly quickly and things don't get too out of hand and all the farmers are affected. Hopefully it doesn't severely affect them with their livestock and financially and everything else, and hopefully things can get back to normal as quick as possible.
I think that's really
all
we want to say for now. A lot of it's basically there's not enough information out there for us to, I think, at this stage for us to really even comment on it, if I'm quite honest.
Oh no, I suppose like anything, it's a new disease or virus.
Scaring the shit out of us. Scaring shit out of me anyway.
There's a lot of information out there, whether it is misinformation
I was going to say a lot of misinformation out there.
Good or bad information out there.
A lot of information.
But hopefully the relevant folk can get, they're making the right decisions and they can get on top of it and we can all sort of go back to normal as quick as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, and then in regards to anything else new with myself, a few cows, Calvin, at home, and funnily enough this week, it's funny, like, doesn't matter how much technology you have, it doesn't matter what sort of mod cons and all you have to record things, as I found you can still make blunders and mistakes, and obviously normally cows during their for their drying off period 2 months, I put down the wrong date to a insemination. So we would normally scan cows, say 3 months after an AA or 4 months after an AA anyway, just with the way things work out and stuff.
So what, 90 to 120 days roughly?
It can vary. So like I would normally do that and then we'll go through it and fine tooth or sort of fine tune it the odd time. So if there's an animal that hasn't been scanned for a bit, then I'll get her scanned and see if all's good or she's just recently went in the calf or that there carry on, Well, I put the wrong date down again on an animal and she's probably going to calve any day now and she's just been cittered. So normally you put antibiotic tubes and all that crack in them. The reason being is just we would normally blanket antibiotic them, so just to reduce any risk. And well, obviously there's very little point in me putting an antibiotic tube in an animal that could calve down any day, because then that would put her out of the tank for a month. So I just put sealers in her so that there's no antibiotics in her, and hopefully
all's well.
Good job that we have lots of colostrum from other cattle. We keep it frozen just in the event of Connor making a boo-boo, and Connor does make boo-boos.
Oh, here we can all make boobies.
But other than that, there really. I suppose a big event happened in Gemma's household.
Yes.
So Gemma, as all the English I found at the weekend say, my missus. So Gemma, the missus. Her brother Mark got married to his long-term partner. He moved over from where Gemma's from, so Gemma's like sort of Cavan, Fermanagh border, and he moved over years ago to Birmingham and sort of made a new life for himself over there. I suppose like Annan met his life partner there, and they tied the knot at Cabra Castle there.
Lovely spot.
That weekend. Oh, fantastic. Like, to be fair to Cabra, like, you know, they looked after you shockingly well. I had no pressure there at the weekend past. I had no wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, even though it wasn't my day of marriage, and shite myself all day just to say a few words and then go on the tear.
These things happen.
But no, they had an amazing day, and they went a few days away there just to start this week, and here, look, every congratulations to them, and hopefully many loving years of marriage.
Fair play.
Now on to you, Michael.
Fuck. Well, finally a bit of positive news. Cal's through the TB test.
All clear?
Yeah, got the all clear.
Thank God, because it would be really bad looking if he had got one of ours and then it had went down with TB.
Here, they're all still down with pneumonia. It has been, I have been fucking crucified with it. Like, I'm not joking. As I said in the last podcast, when we were doing it with Andrew, it was actually the night, it wasn't long after the Drift Bash, we were all up in the shed and all of them were coughing. But it wasn't a bad cough, so to speak, and they were all eating. And it was like, alright, grand. I talked about this in the last pod too. I was like, right, we're all grand. But thought, do no harm to bring the vet out. Anyway, all of them were above temperature. I was like, right, shit. I think when we were last doing the pod, I talked about dosing them with Draxin. Did them all again. All temps were down, bar one, who had went up. But he wasn't bad the first day around. So done him again. And to be honest, the cough's still not clearing. The shed is good enough ventilation. I've been monitoring that. The weather's just, apparently according to the vets, any man at the minute with younger cattle stores is just sick with pneumonia. My cattle are all still eating. They're all still running about. They're fighting each other for food, killing each other for food. Honestly, they're like a bunch of junkies when you throw out meal in front of them. But you run them into the yard and it's like listening to a bunch of smokers. So we've got another vaccine of another pneumonia vaccine, a pneumonia antibiotic, and a lungworm antibiotic, just to be sure. Threw him there the night, along with when we were doing the TB test. Like, we actually again nearly forgot we were checking for TB because we were so engrossed in doing that. So yeah, there's that. So it's one of those weird things that we could do with a cold spell to kind of kill the bacteria, but a cold spell would probably be harder than animals. So maybe you'll disagree. I don't know.
I'll be brutally honest. I don't fully know, but from what I can gather, yes, if we had a good cold week, because obviously, as you're saying, the weather for the incoming week now is given bright and mild. Mm-hmm. It's just a disaster.
Just basically means that
hot and cold.
It means the bacteria, the cattle get unwell in the cold, and then the raising temperatures means the bacteria just festers. It just doesn't really go away. So look, we're just monitoring it. We're just keeping an eye on it. But as I say, they're eating, they're running about. They never haven't. Any boys thinking of maybe getting into Cal or whatever, invest in a thermometer. And what I would also recommend is don't be scared to bring out the vet and have the vet like explain shit to you, because you can try and use ChatGPT and you can ask your mates or whatever, but every farmer has their own ideas on how to do things. Some boys don't vaccinate, some boys will tell you certain things are a waste of time, some farmers over vaccinate. You know, it's literally down to personal preference. Ask the vet, ask for a genuine opinion. I'm not saying that your neighbours or your mates are wrong. I'm just saying ask for a genuine opinion. That would be my takings away from this. On top of that, the Fiat shit 4th and 5th gear.
Ooh.
Yeah. Got sent a nice video the other day of a lot of failings in the gearbox. I would say it was around the Cork that done that.
Just the constant driving.
I think so. But then who's to know? It could have, as you said earlier on, it could have happened on the way to Cork. It was only when, the thing is, the tractor takes gears and no bother, so it's not a problem with the synchros, it's the problem with the actual cogs. So it's just
maybe stripped one tooth or something.
One or two teeth, yep. So look, it mightn't be a big job, just replace the cogs, away you go. Still not exactly ideal. So that was fine. I don't really use the tractor that much over the winter anyway. And then I've lost brakes in Mary again for the 3rd time, and I've just, so I replaced everything. I replaced the master cylinders last year. I replaced the slave cylinders last year, then replaced all the slave cylinders, then still had no brakes. So in March this year, I replaced the one bad master cylinder, then took thick in July and replaced both of them. Then in September again, one of the master cylinders burst, so I replaced it again. I still have another spare, and I was feeding the other night, and like, to be fair, like, my loader's dead handy to have. Like, it's class, lifts bales, does exactly what I needed to do. I know it's old, it's a bit clunky, but it does a deadly job. It does what I needed to do. But I put my foot and just went, I've lost brakes again. Like, there's only so many like, it's all brand new parts. There's only so many times you can do the same thing.
Is she perishing seals or what?
I would say, you'd think it's seals in the master cylinder, but I think it's overextending the rods. I think I think the brakes, they're maybe in the shoes or the drums or whatever they are, whatever setup they are. I don't know enough about them to even know. They're Ford 5000 axles. I'm just going to send them over to Stephen and James Duffin and have them look at it, because they know everything about the Ford Force, like 1000. They have literally a full collection of 1000 series Fords, like, so, and they're only over the road, and James is one of my best mates, so, you know, I'm not gonna go by him, like, so.
No, of course.
Like, yeah, so hopefully they'll get that sorted. And on a more positive note, I went and visited JC Slick last Saturday.
Oh, well, how is JC Slick?
Got a nice wee cup of tea actually, and a couple of buns, and then sat and chatted shit in the yard for ages. JC's doing serious well, but like, main things we were talking about, same things we basically talked about in the podcast. Like, any man that called into the yard, you know, he was asking them, oh, well, how you getting on, and such with us, like, and anybody's buying stuff off him, he knows about them. Like, he's asking them questions. Well, did you get that car sorted, or how's the family, or stuff like that, you know, and real personable. And you're sitting just looking at it going like, that man could sell Snowed in Eskimo. But then also on top of that, it's not like he's a hook, because his stuff's genuinely really good. Like, I went up till, basically, I've been saying for ages I was going to buy stuff, and went up and ended up buying drums, because obviously he sponsors the pod, like, so we kind of have an agreement there. But got a few other bits with him, and he was like, even things that he was like, no, you're doing that wrong. He's like, you're using far too much of that. You know, he could have just said no and said, oh yeah, great stuff, but he was like, in what way are you applying this, and asking me questions like, you know, like, how you doing this, how you doing that. Like, a lot to be said for someone being properly genuine. So I ended up spending a right slap of money, but that'll probably do me a good while. Like, and to be fair, the new stuff he has, that Blizzard snow foam, if you apply it along with a well diluted Pristine 360, you don't even have to put a sponge to the car. Like, it's deadly job. I done me, mum and Becca's car all last Sunday there. It was a great job, so very impressed. So fair play to JC and JTech Chemicals, keeping the show going as always.
Get in your head.
Get in your head, lads. Will we move across then till, I suppose, the main topic?
Just if it helps, you see at the bottom it tells you how long we've been recording for.
Oh fuck, I saw it does too. I was sitting trying to watch the top and I can't see shit.
I just clocked. Yeah.
Pardon the phone. Because it's telling the time. We sort of said this at the start. So for 2025, rather than us just going and talking, we've no guests or nothing lined up this week, or just kind of trying to get pushed through here and lead up to Christmas. This is our last podcast of 2025. We're taking, in my humble opinion, a well enough deserved break from everything for a bit. I'm travelling with work now for the next 2 weeks, so I wouldn't even get a chance to record. And sure, every Saturday we're away doing something as well, like on Sunday as well. So
yes, we also
have lives.
Yeah, we've a few
sociable events to attend.
Yes,
and I still have another wedding.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I thought we'd basically just give a highlight. Look, to be fair, we have had some fucking incredible guests come on this podcast this year.
The only problem with this year, and this is such a first world problem, and it's just been like busy but in a good way. Like, we've been sort of non-stop, and it's not even a complaint about it, but it's like if we're both sitting here before Christmas knackered, and you sort of half look back on what the year's been like, you know, working with Grassmen to go and do the long draw, filming King of the Cone, doing another video there, Michael doing his 2 drift bashes, find out more about the Sierra than he's ever found out about her, and you know, going on, like, whenever you really look back on it, it's been a fucking incredible year.
Yeah. Different tractor pulls, BRM for example.
It's funny now that it's basically work commitments and you're just flat out with your own jobs, obviously, that you make a pound with.
Yeah.
It's funny whenever you, like, how fucked that leaves you, and it's not that we don't appreciate, but you don't think as much about what you have actually done and achieved through the year. Like, you know, to say in January 25 that, we were going to line up and do a charity event and raise over 20 grand for charity.
Something like, by the time you include gift aid, it was like 23, 760 something or something like that. Like,
that.
I mean, I've just been telling people 25 grand. If you convert it to euros, it's maybe 25 grand.
yeah. If you think then, like, we did Donegal Rally, had one of the best times at it. Like, you know, you got you to your drift bashes. You've been drifting the Sierra. You've found our limits. Your driving's only getting better with her.
Yeah.
We had such a good summer. Like,
we rounded a lot of this off in the last podcast, or like, 2 podcasts ago.
It's just been it has just been an incredible year, and you don't really think and look back because you only can look forward, I suppose. But Michael, what is your highlight of episode 51 then been? So
episode 51 was obviously the first podcast we recorded this year 3. How could it be? Basically, it ended up me going on a spiel about how I was going to highlight my 2025 plan and take a bit more time around the farm and take a bit more time to myself and, like, kind of sort of work on that side of things. 1 year on, nearly, how do I sort of feel about that? I would say I actually done that. I spent a lot of 2024 running around chasing after, like, not even people, just chasing after different things. I would say this year I definitely got a lot more stuff done around here. It's still not enough, but if you want to hear me go off in a ramble about that, here's episode 51.
In 2025, Michael, in regards to limited slip differences, where do you see it going?
Guests. Very guest heavy, I think. We have done a hell of a lot of groundwork last year, and I said, and going to all these different places, and that's why I don't regret it, because it put me in the firing line. Like, even you take Darren Mellon's toy drive there, you know, standing chatting with like Donkey 262, Kirsty Ward from Grassman, Aidan Gore, who will not come in the pod, so I've said I'm no longer going to ask him. Big sad. Like, you know, Sammy was there, but didn't really get much of a chance to talk to her. But you know, it's all them people. Like, for instance, Kirsty Ward, someone I'd be very, very interested in chatting with and having on the pod. And there's now another contact just from being in the right place at the right time, and I suppose being there, you know, and like that happened in so many times over the years, or over the last year, with just different opportunities coming up. And then obviously, you know, we did a big push on TikTok as well. TikTok takes up a lot of time. I've kind of slacked off the TikTok, as you can see, for now. You know, we've just, as I said, it takes a lot of time to come up to Christmas. I was working like basically from like September right through to Christmas. Like, I was away on site nearly every week, and then I was coming at weekends. I was coming home and going to events. Like, there was nothing was getting done. So for 2025, due to all the groundwork, we should be able to capitalise that. You know, and even if it's not guests, like about the guests, about like kind of some similar to like the She's No D Turbo episode where we had Connor Kelly on, and Connor really like added to the topic. We'll have guests that do stuff like that as well. We'll see what we can do around Donegal time and all as well. Look, we've got pedigree in the name now that we can kind of rub shoulders with some of them higher level people, which is class, and something I never really ever thought we'd ever do. But here we are, and long may it continue. I'm thankful. That's not a case of going like, yeah, we're great. Like, you know, I still think that we're never doing good enough, and sometimes you have to sit and realise that you've come on all right. But for 2025, like, I have a lot of my friends are getting married next year, resulting in a lot of stag do's. So I'll have a lot of clashes of events. Obviously, now the Sierra's up and going and running, I would like to try and get to a couple of events there, whether it be at car shows or drift events. Drift events are very expensive. I have a lot of saving to do. My wedding's coming up this year, so that's probably going to be a minimal. But again, car show weekends, my car's not as clean as it was, so don't know really if it's worth showing anymore. Tractor pulls, would love to get to a couple more of them, but again, it's if and when. And to be honest, I would like to spend a lot more time in the yard fixing my own shit that needs fixed before I reverse through a wall.
Episode 52 was our good friend Stephen McMullen, one of our closest mates.
Yes, Mr. 50 Shades of Grey.
One of the highlights for us from that podcast was basically we were asking Stevie about any information he would like, or advice he would give to, say, young lads or ladies coming, like, trying to get into maybe spraying cars. What advice would you give them? And then obviously we talked as well a bit about like his first car that he sprayed as well. What advice would you give anyone? Like, we have younger listeners, anybody young cubs that's interested in cars and don't want to do mechanicking, what would you give advice anyone who's thinking about getting into bodywork?
Don't.
Apart from that.
No, do. It's a good job. It's challenging mentally and physically.
Yeah, no two ways about it.
You're faced with no job is the same as the next. Like, no matter what, it's not the same unless you're sitting working at brand new panels every day, all day. Definitely do it. It's good, but you have to be dedicated.
Yeah.
Take your health and safety very serious, because that is a dangerous job.
Yeah, with the fumes and with
you're
the dust
with
and
isocyanates, different chemicals, everything. Your PPE needs to be correct. Like,
I never ever thought I'd hear those words come out of your mouth, but
neither did I. But here we are. I've matured
Have
now.
you had any fuck ups with PPE, like as in things maybe went wrong whenever you try to take a shortcut?
Oh, there's times there, like, even simplest things, like opening a new jar of thinners or something, you hate to be very careful, like, because
first thing you're opening a jar of thinners, next thing you're in the ground.
well, I can. Everything's sealed up. Like, you know, if there's a bit of pressure on something, a bit of heat or something, you know, that metal jar will expand. You try to open something that can shoot up or
I got
explode
that
out.
me
Like,
one time. I got paint stripper in my eye. That was good crack.
for young people maybe wanting to get into this job, definitely, like I say, physically and mentally challenging, but can be a very rewarding job at the end of it too. You know, you stand back and look at something maybe come in and it's riddled and dents, scratches, anything. You paint it, and they stand back and look at it, and then it's good to be pleased with yourself too. I'm not the best painter in the world. Like, you hate to admit that. Everyone has their mistakes, but definitely it's worthwhile doing.
I think a lot of painters, and I was going to ask you about the BM, because that's sort of where we all sort of tied in together. I think a lot of painters, and you see it with a lot of younger ones when they all start, and truthfully we've sort of seen it with you a bit as well, when you first started and you got onto things and you started getting through all the jobs, like, your confidence is sky high.
Oh, you get cocky, like,
and then all of a sudden, like, you start learning.
you come back down to earth. You realise, like,
Because, like, you know, you're saying, like, I'm not the best painter in the world, but, like, Stevie of 6 years ago would have been like, I done a really good job there.
Oh, aye.
But, like, it's not just you. Like, there's boys literally pick up a fucking rattle can and they're
Oh,
like,
aye,
there's no better painter than me. And I think there's a lot to be said for that, because I think the painter that is critical of themselves, like you're a perfect example, like, who's sitting going, like, you know, every day you could always be doing a job a bit better. They're the boys that's going to actually paint the car properly, rather than fuck, I'll do Ridley, sure, I'm a good painter, everybody knows I'm a good painter, and hardly fucking matter, you know.
by fire on and out the door
Yeah.
it goes. No, like, definitely you hate to come down to earth, like. Everyone makes mistakes. Runs is a big thing.
Yes.
Everyone knows what a run is. Everyone gets them.
Yep.
If any painter tells you they don't get a run, they're lying. I've got them.
But
get
can
them
you sand them out? Can you flatten them out?
to a degree. I've got some bad runs in my days. Like, what they say is, like, if you don't get a run, you're not trying hard enough.
Really?
Well, that's not really, but
I know what you,
You know
I
what I mean?
know what you mean. See, suppose, like, the first car I really ever remember you spraying was a 316 5-door.
318.
Was it a 318?
318.
I thought it was a
318,
316. No,
318, just.
aye, because it was a single cam, wasn't it? I think that's what I thought it was a
So she
316.
M3 kit it, or did you just put the M3 kit on her?
No, I bought that car completely standard from.
That's sort of where I kind of start to know you properly from. That's
From
where
that.
we all started becoming friends, was that? And you painted that yourself.
That's when I was doing my apprenticeship, and I wanted a project. I
Yes.
always wanted an E36 as well.
I love that car.
Love E36s, always have done, and I still do, and I will to forever. Like, but obviously, it was an apprenticeship. I was on apprentice wage, not great back then. I think
Still probably not now.
it's
Like,
probably not back then. I was getting £132 a week.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is now,
it's £500 a month. It's not exactly great. Like,
and that was I was driving all the time too.
aye, so that was getting you. That was your fuel.
That was getting you to work and back, insuring, tax, maintaining the car, and trying to have a life. Like, that's not good. But managed to save up a wee bit of money. That car came up really, really cheap.
It was like £350, wasn't it?
350, I think you're right. I think it was.
Yeah.
It was an old fellow owned it. He owned it for a lot of years. It was advertised as very, very rough, and I thought, I'll buy it and I'll do it as a drift car.
Yes.
And I think, was it Cref went out with me, I think, to get it that night.
May have been Creth.
He took me out. Anyway, looked at it, pitch black in the dark. Always loved 5-door E36 as well,
Yes.
because everyone has 3 doors. I just wanted to be a bit different. I like being a bit different. So, went out and looked at it. All the usual bits, arches, sills surprisingly not too bad on it. Back arches were clean rotten out of it.
That's standard.
Bootlegged,
36.
them bits. From what I could see in below, I thought it was a bit scabby. I didn't think it was too bad. But at the end of the day, I was buying it. I wasn't going to be a road car. Got it home anyway. Seen it in the daylight next day. Looked down below it, jacked it up, checked all the usual bits that they go, jacking points, the arms, strut towers in the front too, inside, and realised how long I'm at. This thing's actually pretty good.
That brings us, I suppose, on to episode 53, where
You weren't
Michael-
even present.
Michael went a wee jaunt down the country, and for the first time ever, I was not included. I cried myself to sleep that night because it's not every day that you get Aaron from Retro Garage and Jack from Aceto Racing talking about Group B rally cars, and how racing was so much cooler.
Oh, so much cooler.
When it was all saloon racing. Well, I personally disagree, but I was not there, obviously, to argue my point.
Late 70s, early 80s, you had everything was rear-wheel drive, and
Yes.
it was an interesting rally, was an interesting space, but it wasn't quite there yet. And then you had my favorite brand, Audi, with the Quattro, something that really rings true with me, with a car that shouldn't have made sense in motorsport. It was heavy. The engine was all the way over the front axle. It had 5 cylinders. It had a turbo. It had all of these things going that were new technology, and it didn't actually meet any of the regulations. But Audi was like, "Oh, can we actually just run it just for fun?"
I think they did it
And
as
they
a pace
changed-
car originally.
And they changed the regulations
Yeah.
because they ran it for fun for a year or two.
Yeah, because
And they built, so Group B only existed because Audi was like, actually, we don't really like that thing you're already doing. Can we do something new?
yeah,
We don't care if we don't get points. We don't care if we don't win. Whatever. We just want to do something new, and that built a whole new class. And I think because the top level is so high, there's no room for that to happen.
Yeah.
You're not going to suddenly get BMW enter it, or not that they're doing much at the moment. You're not going to suddenly get a new brand entering Rally 1
Yeah.
being like, actually lads, I think I can do better. Can we make a new thing?
it's one of them things where, and I don't know how to describe it, because I look at let's take a 205 T16 for a perfect example, and I look at it and go, that's class, and then you've got, so then you have now the 205, and you look at the 205 and even the
Yeah.
GTA, and you're like, that's class, look
Yeah.
at that. And then at the same, and you had that was such exciting era, and now you have in the rallying, I don't even follow rallying much anymore, but
Copy pasta.
yeah, but you've got Hyundai A20,
Yeah.
and or is it the Citroen still have the DS3?
They're not in Rally 1 anymore.
No, okay, so
So it's literally Hyundai, Toyota, and
GR
Ford M Sport.
Okay.
And Ford M Sport is a mid-size, a crossover SUV that actually has nothing to do with the rally car.
yeah. So this is the problem, and to be fair, Toyota with the GR Yaris,
They tried.
that
Yeah.
was class.
Yeah.
And I wish they'd done the GR Corolla in
Yeah.
this country, because they're class too.
Did you know there's an older GR Yaris?
There's a
Oh, no,
I
don't bring- yeah, don't
I
bring
got to
this.
look at it today.
I didn't even know that existed, but
I didn't either.
It's front-wheel drive.
oh, I know the one you're on about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has a GR badge.
That's it. It's yeah.
Never knew they existed.
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew they existed. It's just a Yaris GR. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
a GR
just- yeah.
Yaris.
Or
It's like literally, when I was over in Indonesia, every second Toyota was a GR. Or no, sorry, a TRD. They were all TRD.
Yes.
They're all TRD over there. Because it's just a kit.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I should in turn look at them A20 Hyundais and go, well, a normal Hyundai A20's class, because look at what they do in
Yeah. My sister definitely did not have that thought process when she bought her i20.
That's the reason it's leaking oil. She's been jumping it up while it's kept.
But it's just, to me, I just feel like the rally cars today don't
Reflect
they don't just resonate
But
with me.
I think that's the thing. There's such a disconnect. And I think that's, again, going back to the optimism thing, there's such a disconnect between what's happening at the top end and what's happening for us.
Yeah.
Let's take, look, one of the cars I film quite frequently, two of them that I'm going to mention, E30 M3 and Mercedes 190 Evo or Evo 2. I love filming both of those types of cars. They were competitors. I love, I've been very lucky to spend time with both of them, or all three of Evo, Evo 1, Evo 2, and
M3.
also the E30 M3. And those cars, if you saw that race, yeah, you could buy the homologation car where there's 500 of them made. You could also buy so let's say 190. So you watch the Evo 2.
190s.
So you watch the Evo 2 and you're like, oh, I could buy the homologation car, it's going to cost a lot. Or I could go the next step down, which is I could buy a 190 Cosworth. Or I could just buy a regular 190. They all have the same general shape.
Yeah, it's like
The
Sierras.
only difference is performance. Sierra is the same.
Sierra's a perfect example.
E30 M3 is the same as well.
Ish
Where
E30 M3 is a lot wider.
it is, But so is an Evo 2.
Yes,
So is an
correct.
Evo 2 versus
And an
you
RS
know,
500.
and an RS 500. Like they're all quite far removed from the normal car. But like with an E30, you could get a 316, you could get a 4-door, you could get a 325iX, you could get the M3. You know, you could even get the South African. Is it the 320 SI that had the S14 out of the E30 M3, but as a 2-litre for tax reasons.
That's right.
But narrow body. Like,
I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that we just don't find hatchbacks interesting anymore. Like, look, what have all these things got in common? And I know, like,
actually, I think one of the big things, I think 2027 the new regs come in for WRC, and it will open it up that you can run saloons, crossover SUVs or hatchbacks. Now, I wish it was just saloons, because I think there's something really cool about you know, if it's based on a car that you can actually fit 4 grown adults into, happy days.
That's what I was literally about to say. What have all these things got in common, apart from the 205 T16, which is kind of like the thorn in my side for this conversation because I love it so much. But like, look at like all the rally cars, Imprezas, Evos. Like, I seen a picture of a 2001 Octavia the other day. It's so cool. Like, and again, touring cars are the same. It's all like saloons. Now it's all hatchbacks. It's just dumb.
But like, look at the love, and it kind of goes a couple of levels. Like when I bought my Coupe Quattro, I knew I couldn't buy an Or Quattro.
It's 2 times it's mentioned.
Right, we're going to keep going.
Do a count there.
So I couldn't buy an Or Quattro at the time, so it was the next kind of best thing for me. And then obviously now that I have the S6 and the S4, both of those have 5-cylinder turbo engines, and those engines really ring true with me because of obviously Group B rallying.
100%.
20 valve 5-cylinder turbo. Yes, it was a 21 or 2.1 rather than a 2.2, but still same basis. And you even see it with the wastegate on that
Are they
car.
only 20 valve?
Say again?
Are they only 20 valve?
Yeah.
No, I thought they'd be the
4 valves per cylinder.
Oh yeah.
There was a 5 valves per cylinder
That's what I
one for
was
the top
thinking.
speed run.
Yes. Or was it Pikes Peak?
Possibly at the very last Pikes Peak, but it definitely was used for the speed run, and then I think as well for the IMSA 90 GTO. But anyway, enough of Audis. But the thing is, even all of those cars, they had a similarity to the road cars. They had, you know, you could own those cars and be excited about what that car meant, and that said something about you. And you know what, like, you're like wearing a football t-shirt. If you're a BMW guy, or you're an Audi guy, or you're a Mercedes guy, and your team won at the weekend, you've bragging rights.
Yes,
you know,
Subaru jackets, Evo jackets were all the rage for years.
Size 200 ones now.
Whereas, like, how many Toyota fans, you know, modern rally fans or modern F1 car fans have any link with the actual brand? They just support.
It's the driver.
It's the driver, but it's nothing to do with like how many Hyundai fans actually drive Hyundai or own Hyundais, and how many Hyundai owners actually even know that Hyundai has a rally team.
In episode 54, we had JC Slick on. He was obviously trying to get in our heads, and he eventually did.
JC talked about how kindness and just being good to people seemed to be like a real, and as I literally said this even earlier when I was speaking, like this whole thing about just actually taking people for people.
It's called currency for a reason. It comes and goes, so I do maintain you've got a pound in your pocket or you're a billionaire. We're all equal. Like, it's a bare ass in, a bare ass out. So as I said, but if it buys you a motor, you get a bit of enjoyment out of it, or it'll take you away on a nice holiday. It's not the money that you're enjoying, it's the actual lack of pound that just got you to get that experience, that lovely holiday, being in that place, or buy that nice motor that you dreamed of to drive it. It's just it's a vicious tool. Money's the devil, isn't it? Like, but it's just, unfortunately, we all get up every morning like, you're going to buy a jar of milk, you don't get it out of the shop without the pound note.
No.
Barber won't cut your hair for free. You won't get a jar of J tape. It doesn't work. The circle doesn't.
I'm sure there are probably ones that we do try and chance their arm. Maybe that's
I'm not giving. I just say, take her on me. See you later. Yeah, get into your head, and then he'll has a Snapchat up there, and that's worth its weight in gold, sir. You know, but it's
you always get it in the long run.
100%.
Or you always find out in the long run.
100%. As I says to you, with me doing deals and stuff too, I'm putting them wee offers up. Like, that's me doing them. Maybe a couple of tons there free now in February, like online there. Somebody buys a 60p air fresh, they're still getting them 2 tons. Had a woman phone me, as I told you, pre this, like, phone me about a drying towel, like, and she says to me, she says, there's 2 tons in this box. I says, they're for you, free of charge. She says, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I'll be back." That was a true story. Like over at Endo, I lost in that sale. It wasn't about the money. One was delighted, like somewhere down the line. Then she was putting another wee order, and she's grateful for me, respecting her, and it works both ways. Like don't have a bad attitude to say, "Oh, I lost. I'm not throwing that. I'm losing." You're losing money. Oh my god, money! Like
Money comes and goes.
100%.
I think that is the way you got to treat people, though. It's like whenever, anybody that bought our merch or, in the first order, like, I give them all like a discount
100%.
code. So if they were going to buy again, I would give them a discount code, and I sent them a message personally going, "Here, look, I really appreciate you buying that." Like, the fact of the matter again is, now getting Snapchats from lads here, there, and everywhere. In America and Australia or whatever, and you see them in the tractors are wearing hoodies, and it's just class. Like,
It does, like it's them simple things, sir, that just draws it on. So you get satisfaction out of seeing that. Like, you bypass the money, don't you? You just look at the, because somebody's wearing a hat belonging to you, wearing a body warmer or a hoodie, or
in a car show or you're some event or something, and some man jumps out of a tractor or jumps out of a car, next thing they're wearing like merchandise, and you see him in the crowd with a hoodie. Like, the feeling's class.
yeah, so throwing air freshers onto Hoovers and everything now belong. It's just crazy, like, isn't it? What the simple touches they're at. Throwing a hanging air freshener into a Hoover to get the Hoover to smell nice, like. Silly stuff, like, what I mean? But that's the people's own doing, and they get a laugh, and then I get involved in that laugh, and then I'm reposting something, and that's just me, the novelty and the personality, and that's just, I'm telling you, it's the people, sir. The people make sure business. Hey, they thrive it every day. I'm a small percentage. A hard crawl, and you obviously have to do so much with the products and stuff, but the customers are the one, boys. The audience is, and them people around it carries the thing every day, and you're forever grateful for it. I am. Anyway, with that wee brand, so I never dreamt that I could even get it off the ground. It was thought about throwing in the tile, man, many's a day, and it was nothing back then, so nobody would have missed it. It's nothing. Maybe a little much bigger, but nobody would have missed it back then. Like, that's another boy coming along here now, another blow on here. Like,
I don't know, I'm not trying to blow smoke up your arse, but it's going to take someone, like, don't get me wrong, there's other big brands out there, and there's other detailing stores and all, and for me, for years, I always used Block 51 because I liked them, and I always thought, they weren't biased, and it's not like you where they have their own brand.
good shop.
And it's a good shop, and a good range, and definitely, like, that was who I always used. But I think it would take a lot for someone to come in and do what you're doing, i.e., like, not every single person is going to be like you with the whole people first thing, and maybe someday.
Do you have that? I'm not off the camera too, like I do it, and you see it on my snaps, like, it has to be.
You are, like, you jumped out of the car there, like, and you're exactly how I imagined you to be. Like, if you weren't like that, apart from the first 10 seconds of this podcast where you put the hat down or a wee bit shy, like, you were never, like, I just never expected you if you'd got out of the car and just went, well, that's what's the crack, I'd have been so disappointed.
I know. No, you have to. You just, as you are who you are, and if you really show it, like, you know what I mean. But it's as I said, man, give me a 1700 diesel Astra and I'm Mark 4. What a yak, hey? Running gear outruns the body. But no, as I said, you just have to. I think, as I said, we're all equal. If you treat everybody, and if everybody's just as, the world's full of nasty things, it's full of good things. But you just, I don't know. So you just, once you get a bit older too, hey. I probably wouldn't have been feeling that as much when I was a cub. Like, if you get mature as time goes on, you see a lot more.
Yes.
You experience a lot more.
Well, experience.
You start to learn a lot of things and how you're treated and how you treat people and how it swings and roundabouts. And definitely, as I said, like, but it's just nice when something works for you and you get out the far side of something or something. Actually, for me to have been breaking heart with that there for months and months, and the labels falling off jars that weren't the right texture of label and weren't the right adhesive, and the simple things like, the cap not the right colour, the drum not the right shape, you know what I mean, not the right thing, and it's simple touches, hey, and it was a hard crawl, hey, but I really clawed at it for years. And as I said, somebody coming behind me now and do what I done, and if I was trying to make that a good wee brand now, and then something's coming strong, when you're starting out so tough, like any business, it's so hard to get people to get to leave. If someone's cutting your hair, he's doing it 7 or 8 years, it's hard to get him to leave, isn't it? Like, if you're buying products of a man 10 years, it's hard to get him to leave. And especially when I started out and I had 5 products, like, sure, what good weed any man? You couldn't give him a sponge or a spray bottle or a microfiber, a ton of air fresher, nothing. I had nothing on that thing, so it was so hard to when I think back, hey, I just don't know how I got it off the ground at all, hey, but I got it going, and
But it wasn't for you, it didn't go by all the same.
No, I think so, Conor. I think so. So just grateful for it, sir. I really enjoyed it. I love getting up in the morning for that brand, sir. And I enjoy the wee snaps, man. I enjoy the scarf around the neck of the labels and the hashes, and always trying to give people a laugh or a giggle, like you said.
It's fucking hilarious, some of the stuff you post. Like, I just don't know how you come up with it. Like,
you just have to act the wag, and sometimes you fear too much on it all. I think it's a bit of a pollution. And man, when you see a snap story with about 45 ticks at the top, you nearly tap through them. Pay the shade up with it again, don't you? Sometimes you, but it's just.
It depends what it is. Like the spinning ball cap or whatever. Like that's good to watch. Like,
it caught my attention. That brings us on to episode 55. It was our first instalment of listener questions in the year. As you can tell, we probably ran out of a topic that day, and Michael had to pull one out of the bag, as he normally does. And what you're about to see is
Adam Fletcher asked us, like, what style of Lexus do we prefer, Jap spec or like Irish spec / felt spec, and we ended up going on a full scale debate about it. Like,
but my question is, do you personally prefer Irish spec Lexus or Jap style, and is there certain things on them you don't like on them, like certain colours, kits, wheels, etc.?
That's such a hard question.
To be honest with you, I'd answer first.
Yes.
They're a funny car because for a long time I was sort of, so at the beginning I was like, I seen an Omer one night, yellow one, white wheels and all, you know exactly what I'm on about. With V1 kit, wee ducktail spoiler on it, full tints, and looks shabby as well. Then the likes of Crafts and Calvins, seen obviously them and was like, oh, you know, if I was ever doing one, you know, BN kit or Vertex kit or that.
Do you remember Alan Kelly's purple Altezza?
Or Alan Kelly's as well. But now I would have to say there's something about the Irish spec ones that's just like,
I think I'm sort of,
you know, like I look at Regal whenever they do theirs, and to say I've spent a few bob on tickets for some of theirs would be an understatement. Don't know, there's just something about a V1 kit with a lip kit on it. Well, like Moonstone Blue, isn't it? Moonstone Blue,
yeah.
Set of Stroms,
Yep.
Decked, full tints, wind deflectors. It's simple but timeless, and I don't think it's ever going to look bad.
I think it is the Irish spec and the Lexus is definitely what's driving the Lexus up. Same as Sierra's. Although the English were doing that as well, Causey kitting and Causey wheels. But like when I do up my 300, it's not getting a BN kit or a Vertex kit or anything like that. And it's not to say I wouldn't, because you're going to buy the bumpers and have to get it all painted anyway. It doesn't even really make that much difference to the price. And wheels, big whoop, like you'll do whatever you have to do. But
and these suit mud flaps so well.
I think the perfect combination is a set of Jap wheels on an Irish spec looking car. So for instance, like what I'm planning on going for is like work T5Rs on mine, or say even like CR2Ps or something like that, like a set of real nice Jap wheels, even R33 GTRs like Rob Bowles. I like, to be honest, when I look at, I think really, to be honest, the best combination I think is the felty kind of V1 V2 style, TRD kind of style, with full tints, you know, and all that there, lip kit, etc. But on like a set of like works or something like that, Jap wheels.
In my own opinion, the nicest Lexus I've seen for a long time is the V2 kitted one at King of the Rings there.
Oh, Hayden Myers. He's just bought a 1J.
I have to say, and I have to give it to him, whatever way that the thing was sitting decked, it just...
That was class. I don't even like V2 kits, but that thing was class.
The splitter made it.
Yeah, that thing was class. And he's a good wee pilot as well. So, yeah. Adam, I don't really know if I've answered your question.
Is there any colours you don't like in them?
There's a couple of really shitty silvers you can get in them.
Silver's not... Silver, do you know something?
You get the silver that's a bit silver with a bit of gold on it, like Calvin's old colour, before he obviously sprayed it.
See if you had like black accents and all. Do you know some silver?
No, silver's coming back.
Silver
100%.
is a color. Now I understand. Yes, I bought a silver car, and my other car basically is a dark silver.
Yeah.
Cosmic grey. But fuck me, I don't know what it is. Like recently was having nosy through like cars and that. Like silver with like a black edition. It's fucking like seeing a brand new shaped Tiguan the other day on the road, silver with a black edition.
If
it looks unreal.
If my Amarok was silver, I wouldn't have turned it down. If my Amarok had been sitting on
There's something about silver now, and like it hides scores. It's fucking
silver. I think's quite good in a way, but it has, as I say, it just depends on the color of silver. Like some of the BMWs now you get in silver look absolutely unreal, but it's like either a greyness or a blueness. I think it depends on the flake. Some of them Lexus nearly you thought had a gold flake in it, and nearly was more like a champagne colour. That just even you did get a gold coloured Lexus as well. A gold Lexus with the cream interior maybe just wouldn't really be my go-to.
interior, anything that's sort of black or grey or.
But then gold Sierras used to be laughed at for a long time, and now that's like a wanted thing. They were like a proper poverty spec. They were like a brown interior. Christopher McDonald from Clady, he lives in America now, but he's won a lockup somewhere. And Luke Quinn has had. Luke can correct me on that one. He sledged her a win at times a couple of years ago, but I think he might be trying to get her back out. So Luke Quinn had a gold one as well. They are rare. You don't get them, but they are the kind of the how bad they were, like the brown interior and stuff, is now something that people go, I want that. That's class.
Like, to be fair, with a 200, I would have a V1 over a V2. I don't mind
over V2 as well.
Don't mind the Vertex or BN, but in my opinion, had to be the full kit. I don't really like the bumper with the lines of the car.
Yes.
I do not like them spoilerless.
I like them spoilerless.
I'm sorry, Adam.
No,
I'm sorry, Adam.
I like the spoilerless
but
look.
I think the spoilerless look is not for me.
I like the spoilerless
look. Or even
look.
the wee tiny lip spoiler. Don't like that. It has to be the ducktail on them. With,
well, maybe I agree to disagree on that one. What about a Hay-Race spoiler off an Altezza?
Rather ducktail, to be honest with you. But see, if you have a mad kit, it's like anything. If you have a mad kit, you need to have a bit of a mad spoiler too. Like a 326 wing.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have pulled off. Don't like white arch ones. I think white arch ones are not my cup of tea at all. Some cars suit white arch. In my opinion, not an IS200.
It just takes the right colour and wheel combination. In my opinion.
Now, slightly flared standard arches. Yes.
Episode 56 was that was an interesting one. That was like the first podcast we ever had where there was like singing.
And you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if Simon Cowell will start up the X Factor again.
We had Nathan on. So the interesting thing about this was before we recorded, like I was like, Nathan, do you have anything about like cars? And he was like, no, I don't think so. And then just went, oh, hold on. And then just erupted into this song about it was like about, he'd said it was inspired from like going to a car meet and like a Location X and stuff. And I was like, so he went from saying he had nothing to just this full on song with chords and everything. It was absolutely hilarious. And I was like, you need to release this to be the Donegal anthem.
Even writing a song, I could write a song in 20 minutes.
Yeah, but
every day of the week I could write every song in 20 minutes, no bothers at all, but it won't be a good song.
Yeah.
So I'll write a song in 20 minutes and I'll give 4 days reviewing it.
Yeah.
4 days going back, changing words.
Yeah.
Going, Jesus, no, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
And then you give another bit of time trying to think, Jesus, could I change the chords there and write it? So you give hours upon hours upon hours on songs.
And even some of the sample is, do I come down with the notes or do I go up?
Yeah.
Do I finish on a higher or do I finish on a lower? And you could spend time repeating that back, going, And
we actually had this problem the other day. When I was up with Nicky, we were learning a new song. A song called The Buzz. I showed you there earlier.
Yeah.
But there's one part of it that it goes up to, what way does it go? But it goes high anyway. And we wanted to go low into the high to give a bit of suspense going into the high.
Yes, yeah.
For the life of me, I couldn't fucking do it. Jesus, lad, I tried so many times. I couldn't do it. And then I got it, and then I couldn't do it again. So we're still stumped on that part of the song. And that's going to take another day of
Run
reviewing.
it by me after we finish this. Run it by me.
Probably a bit heavy for the podcast now.
I was going to say run it by me, because if I might be able to chime into that.
Yeah, there's one part of it just
I
can't
might be able
do
to.
it. Yeah.
Maybe. Don't know. Can we hear your song about the Lexus?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fire me over the guitar. What way do we do this now with the old microphones?
Genuinely, I'm sitting here being like, this feels like a radio exclusive or one of them things. How are we going to work the mic? Because you're a bit far away. And this is going to make you look really uncomfortable.
I'm not uncomfortable.
Right.
I'm always comfortable.
Good enough.
Yeah, so what introduce it. 'Tis a song I wrote after I went to a fucking car meet and Private Road was having a bit of fun. I wasn't in an M3. I'm broke. I have nothing.
So
Only a trailer.
We changed it then just before
To
you see,
Lexus.
you started talking about M3, and then I was like, what you're talking about is nearly like too agricultural. And then I was like, what about Twin Cam? And then you sung it out, and I was like, And then you were like, what about Lexus? And then we sung it out, and we're like,
Yeah, that's it.
winner.
I also have a Lexus tattooed on my arm, but we're not going to get into that. Fuck, I made bad life choices. Anyway. Alright. I was driving in a Lexus with nothing on the window, 2 ball back tires and it keeps going into limp mode. Driving down the back road, going sideways, giving her loads. I know that she will clear my mind, but she won't win a car show. I'm driving up smoke, burning off tires, and my mother, she knows I am half wired and my heart it is pumping and my passengers are quiet. I don't know if they're having fun or they just see blue lights, and we're up smoke, burning off tires, and my mother, she knows I am half wired and my heart it is pumping and my passengers are quiet. I don't know if they're having fun or they just see blue lights. Yeah.
I thought you were going to actually finish off with blue lights. I thought you were going to say, or because they're going quiet, I thought you were going to say, or they're scared of dying.
Oh fuck, I could have died.
Yeah, that's actually what I thought you said
they're
the
scared
first.
of dying.
Because
Yeah,
it's
that
like I
worked
don't know
lovely.
whether they're quiet or whether they're scared of dying. And I was
Yeah.
like, I was trying, only I don't know the lyrics well enough. I was going to sort of half contemplating joining in there.
Let's have a duet. Jez, I know other songs kind of like that even. Macron was, the High Horse song is good, but I'm going to save that for an old release that I do. Because that's coming out.
I
as a
really do
single.
think you should, like, because that's only one verse in the chorus. So it's like,
Oh, there's another verse. Another verse wrote-ish, but I'm not good at it.
yeah.
So
I'm honestly, like, that's the type of thing, like, you'd want to make. Look, I'm just putting it out here now. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your arse, and I'm not trying to get my head up under your small intestine. But what I am going to say is,
that's a good one.
if you were to push on that, like that, like hit the diff shouldn't have worked.
It just did,
It
yeah.
just worked so well. But do you know why? Because it related. Everyone went mowing, raking, sowing, baling, drawing, hauling on, buck raking, back and stacking, playing, and everyone was just like,
It works, yeah.
follow the money, like this, and then, like, it just was. No one had heard anything like it, and it was just so simple, and it just worked. And that's the same. It's like, especially when it comes to, it's like, and we're up smoke, like when you do that, and it's like,
But then it kind of goes
It's
back
strong.
to, it goes back to that though. Does it become a gimmick song? Do you know
but
what
is
I mean?
that a problem? Is that a problem?
Yeah, it does. It is for me because a lot of my songs be very serious. So Macron was the
Macron's not fucking serious.
No, but Macron was the unicorn. Macron was the song I did not want to record, did not want to release, did not want to write. It just fucking happened. So then it went from there to Flying Home.
Yeah.
If you've heard Flying Home,
Yeah.
which is more of a serious song about
Yeah.
flying home from America or Canada and Australia for Christmas and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So that was a more of a serious song, and that'd be kind of more my level. Where it's like I'd like to, because the kind of person I am, I'd like to bring up the topics that nobody talks about. I'd like to talk about more serious stuff. Try and advise people from my own mistakes, and that's kind of where my music goes. But then I also,
I hear you, but
like
you're
a
also
bit-
good crack.
yeah.
You know, no, but like that is like, I don't know if I could get away with doing that song as well as you, because you've got. I'm probably still a bit too serious, whereas you would be able to get away with it a bit more because that's just your kind of nature. Like if it was Falvey singing that song, you know.
I would go queer, yeah, and he'd be sitting on the bonnet of the Reliance singing it or something.
Oh,
like, you know?
smoke!
He'd actually be a lad if we were doing a music video. Falvey'd have to be in it, yeah.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we did kind of sort of do this in the shed. Like.
yeah.
And then we had the first woman on for the year. Tyree joined us in episode 57. She just obviously started her own podcast, She Drives, and more or less we get talking about, you know, why she done our car up the way she did, and her influence from her brother and that. But in her own podcast, she got a lot of hate. A lot. She got a lot of hate for having Veeman wheels in our car.
I know we've talked about the air and everything else in the car. One other thing, and I've been alluding to this a couple of times, is so you run Veeman wheels.
Yes, I run Veeman wheels.
And how do you feel about that?
I mean, I like Veemans.
I like Veemans as well.
I've
had Veemans.
Yeah.
So I can't even slabber, and also hit many a pothole on them, and they were still straight. So
I mean, this is the thing. The very first set of wheels I had were the 31s.
yeah,
And like I've had
that's what I had too actually.
I've had TTRSs, I've had 3 SDMs since, I've had
I love
I
3
had-
SDMs. They were such a. They were such,
SDMs.
probably the 006 were the ones
Yeah.
that kind of look like the S's.
Yeah.
I remember when they first like come on the market, it was like they were the wheel to have. If you had a set of like 006s, you were the boy. Like you were the person. There was only like 4 people in the north got them at the time. And it, like when they first come out, and it was just like everyone was on the 005s, which was like the Fat 5 spoke one, and like you seen them everywhere. And then I was like, he's 6s. Holy shit, he's like that was nearly like a show winning wheel at the time.
So
That was not. They were like so cool. I love the 006s. Anyway,
yeah, so I've also had the VFS 4s on my car, and now I have the VFS 60s.
60s, yes.
Yeah.
So, look, to be honest, if you're in our sort of scene, which I'm going to say is like tasteful felt spec.
Yeah, we'll say that.
I
I can go for that.
I think that's fairly, or felt plus, as we would call it. Like, obviously, it's not like a show winning wheel. It's not a 3-piece split. It's not
No.
like a.
nice everyday wheel.
It's not like
just
a
nice everyday.
huge costing multi-piece OEM or like
Yeah, we get the point.
like a Bentley or whatever. They're a good budget enough. So fuck, they're dear
They're still
enough now.
quite dear,
They're dear
actually,
enough now. Well, that just fits. They just work.
Yeah.
They just suit a car. But apparently, when you say it just fits, apparently people go, "Oh, of course they fit. Maybe you should check if your car doesn't fit your car," because people are fucking dicks. Because yes, I seen your TikTok, and people are complete ball bags.
Thank you. I woke up this morning and, to be honest, I completely forgot that I had posted the video, and then I saw the comments on it, and I was like, why is this getting hate? Like, I just said that I love Veeman wheels. That is literally all I said. I said that they fit the car, and what I meant by that is they fit the style I'm trying to go
Which
for.
is, we're talking about this kind of like felt plus, tasteful felt spec kind of thing.
Just
you know,
a
like,
nice kind of everyday wheel, something a wee bit different from fucking shitty, I don't know, standard Mark 6 Golf wheels.
yeah, or like people going about in like a set of Passat Sports or something.
Yeah,
out
like
there, yeah.
Helios or something. But I do like Helios.
I hear you, but they were overdone at a point. Everyone had Helios.
I do agree with that.
Everyone at one point had Helios.
But now, if somebody had said a Helios, I'd be like,
yeah, but you see, it's like at one point I've always loved Alfords. Always will love Alfords. At one
Alfords,
point,
yeah, no.
everybody had Alfords.
But see, I mean, I do want a pair. I do want a set of Alfords for my car, but it's only acceptable if you get the genuine Alfords.
No, I would get the genuine Alfords because they're 9.5 rears and have a bit of concave. That's why I would go for that. But like originally,
couldn't give a fuck.
like it used to be the polished face, like they were like a Lenzo. They had the Mercedes stamp, and I was like, oh, genuine Mercedes stamps. It's like the Mercedes stamp means it's not genuine because it's a Lenzo wheel. But like I ran the fully polished.
Because the real ones are Ronal.
Yeah, I ran fully polished Alfords in my 207, so I got like 4 to 5 stud adapters for the wheels and all. Like, like at the time, this was like no one had done this, and like
Trendsetter.
they were but it's just they weren't the genuine wheels, and it was I was like still probably one of the favorite set of wheels I've ever put in a car ever.
To be fair,
Not genuine or anything like that. Just
on a Mark 6 or even a Jetta, I think Alford's probably one of the nicest wheels. On a red one, TTRS is hard to beat.
The TTRSs did actually look quite good on my car.
they have to be concave though. I think TTRSs. I think if TTRSs are quite a flat face, especially when you go like, I think in 19s it's kind of a nice balance. I think in the 18s if it's a flat face it doesn't look good, and if it's a 20 on a flat face it looks really bad.
20's nearly too big though for a Mark 6 maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mark 6 absolutely, yeah. Were you running 19s or 18s?
19s.
Aye, probably. Were they 9.5s or 9s?
9s.
Aye, so the 9s are fine because you used to be able to get like an 8.5 and it was flat. And it just did not look, they're just not. Whereas the concave like makes them look so much better. Like,
Yeah.
I suppose to kind of finish up on your golf then, because probably need to get back onto the talking about the podcast, but what would you go for at Dream Wheels if you couldn't run Vehemence?
I don't have like the spec number for them, but it's Vosen.
Yes.
They have a really nice gold wheel.
Okay. What does it look like?
It's like,
Is it 5-spoke?
yeah, it's like spoked out at the ends.
Oh, it's like a triangle.
They
Yeah.
nearly look like
Yes.
similar to Tiger Claws.
If Tiger Claws were
Really
thin
thin?
spoke, yeah. Aye, because they do look like BMW wheels as well. You get like wheels like an M4. It kind of looks like that.
Focus ST, like a really that's a rough.
Yeah.
more
sort of style.
tasteful.
Yeah, a lot more tasteful.
A lot more tasteful.
Not trying to say he was a taste, but just that's roughly the style of them.
That would look
Yeah.
good, but probably to make something that fit, you might need a bit of camber at the rear, and then it'll drive like absolute arse.
Yeah.
I looked at this and I went, so on our fancy teleprompter, just to keep me right because I'm useless, on episode 59, we had Connor from CDM Sport, on the pod, and telling us all about his business venture and sort of how he started up. And interestingly enough, he told us about how he faked it until he made it.
Yeah.
With CDM Sport. How long is CDM Sport going now?
A little under 2 years.
Seriously?
Wow, that's
Yeah.
some growth.
That's deadly.
Yeah, it started because I couldn't raise the sponsorship funds, and I was like, I need to go drifting, so started CDM Sport, and that was that. And I hate it. Like, I had a brilliant job and set for a daily career as an electronics engineer. I couldn't. I just felt like I was locked in prison. Like I
No,
couldn't do it.
you done the absolute right thing at the age you were.
Yeah, exactly.
You were only 23.
Well,
yeah,
if
so
I had a
when-
Wayne and a wife and
and a mortgage.
and I was nearly 40, and I tried to do this. Like that's some risk.
Like that's the thing. Like
If this goes wrong, I'll get a job tomorrow.
Yeah.
And figure out my next business move.
yeah, like for me,
Without having like a out and out, like it, you have a slight bit of a goes wrong.
well, that's the thing. Like, and I'm so
Aye,
jealous.
that's like what's the worst could happen? I'll start again.
But I get
Or
so
I'll get a
jealous
job.
of the likes of you and the likes of Tyree and all who could
Yeah.
has that, like, you're young enough to be able to do that. Like I started.
You're not afraid to risk.
I feel like we started this too late. We have full-time jobs and careers and all
Yeah.
now. Like for
And
me,
responsibilities.
for me to quit my job to go full-time podcasting it just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you absolutely 100%. Even if people turned around and said, "Oh, you're silly leaving a good job," whatever. Fuck them. You made the absolute right decision doing what you're doing.
I never will regret that in my days.
No,
Like
and you shouldn't.
I say it was a great job and I did enjoy it and it was interesting, but see, getting up and driving to work and sitting in the office and doing that and just repeating that all day for like however many years it's going to be till I retired just wasn't planned, and I couldn't devote the time I needed to drifting to align with my, I suppose, 5-year plan. Like I needed now, yes, I'm busy now, but that's because it's really, for the most part, just me at the minute. But
Yeah.
I'm working on that to make the business self-sufficient so that I can put more energy into what I really want to do, which is get a drift team to DMAC, like be that with me or with other drivers. And
So
drifting's
even if you
new.
weren't the driver,
Yeah.
you would still want a team.
For sure.
You would kinda
Drifting's
do-
so new, like paid drift drivers is going to be super common soon, and I ideally when I'm older, whether it happens or not, I'd love to be in a position to be able to fund a kid's dream to take him to the highest level of drifting as
That'd
a career.
class.
Like
That'd be unreal.
so, and that is drifting's brand new, like, and that will happen. And manufacturers come in and
As long as they don't start doing FIA regulations like no tomorrow on it.
yeah, that would
Yeah.
kill it.
Like I do get, as you're saying, about the tyre standards.
yeah, but drifting can control that themselves. Like they don't need some politics.
And a lot of shady backhanders and all
Yeah,
that.
exactly. That's all FA is money and politics, and they don't need that shit. Like,
So for any, I suppose, young kids listening, like who, well, I'm going to say who want to do what you want to do, but like you don't want them to do it because then they'll be competing against you. But
Nobody starts selling car parts.
But like, you know, say someone else is sitting there, hands the business idea, someone else listening to us, like, apart from the severe set of fucking balls to go and do something like that, like, how does like someone aged 23 set themselves up to do a business like that? Dealing with fairly expensive
Before you
parts.
say anything, you said a phrase out there earlier, and I have to say I do admire you for it. That was fucking smart. I'm not going to say what it was.
Faking it till you make it thing.
That was fucking smart.
Look, if you want to do something bad enough, you'll figure out a way to do it.
Okay, yeah.
Be that, you know, faking it till you make it a bit, you know, let on that you're bigger than you are before you are, so that you can, you know, interest big brands and stuff. And just saying, in my scenario, I did do that. I'll not get into the details, but I faked it till I made it at the start, and it worked out. But that was a risk, and I accepted that risk, and I done it. And it was I didn't like wake up knowing that's what I was going to have to do. I just knew that I wanted to have my own business, and if I could make drifting my business, that would be the ultimate life goal. And so I just started spending a lot of energy thinking about it, trying stuff, and then eventually I managed to make it work, and here we are today, where I'm somehow talking about potentially running a drift team in DMEC. So,
and do you like, and like the way things are going and the way things are working, because you already run a sort of a team now, kind of like YDS, don't you?
So we have well, people think it's a 2-car team at the minute just because of how things panned out, or a 3-car team, sorry, but there's actually a 5-car team now in ADS of us. There's 4 Pro 2 drivers, including myself, and then we have Ben Rogers in the Pro class.
That was cool. Whenever I seen Ben,
Ben's car is really cool, like,
and that was class. Whenever you seen him coming round, like in the Pro class from Mondello, and just CDM Sport down the car, like I was like,
it was cool, like,
like absolutely, like that's class. Like
I have I don't know if my wallet with me, but I have a picture of my wallet I drew when I was sitting in an exam in school, like, and instead of doing an exam, I drew this picture of me drifting in front of the grandstand in Mondello when I was like 15. I was like, this is going to happen, but
so anyway, I failed technology, but
I think it was French or something. I don't know, it wasn't important, but yeah, it was an S chassis, so I suppose it was Ben instead of me doing that, but a dirty S chassis.
To be fair, to get a DMEC, French might be important.
I'll manage Google Translate.
I was going to say, I think Google Translate covers the majority of that. To be fair, like
Google Translate and the calculator covers pretty much everything you done in school. But so it's cool to be able to do that. Versus last year, I rocked up to round 1 with a plain white car that had broken fiberglass on it, and a misfiring Freelander Jeep, and a rented trailer. Yeah, and now you've got the branded van and 5-car team. Like, I only sort of thought about this a few days ago, thinking that you always think you're in the same place, but if you look back, even like that's a year probably to the week now, because it was late April the first round last year. Like, that's some jump in a year.
Episode 60 was the second installment of our Ask Community.
It was.
So listener questions, where we basically end up talking about our pet peeves in the car scene.
Pet peeves are the thing.
TikToks. Young Cubs and TikTok.
No, I can't say that as a pet peeve.
No,
I'll tell
when
you
they can't
why.
understand that your car is cold.
No. Like, to be honest with you, right, any time I have ever been anywhere, and I've been to more of them meets and stuff recently than yourself, because you have other things on, and like, say I've had a free Saturday, and you know, like, as soon as you say that the car's cow, like, they will leave you alone for a while. I found anyway. I have never encountered a young cub yet that, you know, doesn't know the meaning of a cow engine. And every time I've done it for any young cub, he's always actually said thank you after, to be fair. But like, if you don't have them there, like, well, there's Corey Crawford. Like, yes, takes dog's abuse. People are not nice to him forever.
Yeah.
But if there was no Corey Crawford there, then who would they be? Who would be taking the videos?
The only thing I would say about that, and I don't want to say too much because I don't want to get myself in hot water or anything, but Corey was taking videos of people like there's a cub and a Clio doing like a rollback and then doing a big handbrake turning Lansdowne.
Yes.
Didn't blur
but
the plates.
The person in that car
Is an
should
idiot.
know better.
Yeah, isn't that it? Completely
I
agree.
understand that they're getting their.
But it's
whatever
videos
shit.
like that go online that the police then look at and go, oh shit, well we have to do something about this.
Yes.
The reason why stuff wasn't targeted near as much years ago is because
Nothing was on social
out of
media.
sight, out of mind. They're up there doing something. Sure, they're up there. Now it's a case of we have to be seen to be doing something about this. And plus, as you've seen, as we talked about in the last episode, there's more. If one bad thing happens, more bad things start happening because people start pushing boundaries, and then it would end up being completely lawless. So you have to respect what the cops do and all as well. Obviously, obviously you want a certain degree of getting away with shit, but
I'd say pet peeve is the ones that ruin it for everyone else.
Agreed, absolutely. Like the boy in your Clio doing handbrake turns in Lansdowne in the middle of the day.
You're always going to get someone.
Because that's the
that does
person
that.
who's probably... A lot of the time, my biggest pet peeves, the ones that actually did the most messing about, and I've said this in numerous podcasts before, is the ones who are driving their mum's cars. They don't give a shit.
No.
Whereas the ones driving the lowered cars, typically, it's their own car, typically out of their own pocket. And those are the ones who are driving slower. Anyone I ever seen driving the most reckless was always an R driver
What
in a bog
baffles
standard
me
car.
is this: if you go to any of these things or the, PSNI are basically posting up, we have conducted an operation and all this. No offence, but there's a weekend. We know there's going to be a cruise or a meet or something on. And we've opened everything up because we know we're going to get money. Realistic.
Yep.
But anyway, they conduct their operation, and we've seen so many cars or whatever have faults. I drove about in a Polo for well over 100,000 miles, with springs that could have fell out, but never did.
See, that's one of the things.
You never it does happen, but a lot of these accidents in these on-roadworthy cars and all are because of modifications. Now, yes, I have known people that have driven about in very dodgy-ish cars, but there's not many accidents I would have said happening with lowered cars.
No, not really.
And nobody...
Apart from that, maybe there was one there recently, I think it was on the A5, 2 young cubs and boras racing each other.
Well, that's, they were...
And there was one on Derry, I think, recently as well, where a couple of young ones were racing each other.
Yeah.
Pack it in. Don't be fucking stupid. Especially, both of them were racing. One of them was racing, the two boys were racing 4 o'clock on a Thursday or something, and the one in Derry, they were racing at 9 o'clock at night. Both of them times are peak times for, just don't, just don't do it. That's just fucking stupid. That is stupid. I'm not going to sit and say you could do X, Y, and Z. I'm no angel. You're no angel. But you don't do that shit.
Episode 61. Michael came to me with a great idea in January of 2025.
I talked about it in January of 2023. My ad.
Yes. So the idea was, he wanted to be able to do a podcast, be the first one to do a podcast whilst drawing silage. My immediate thoughts were fucking header. But
have them thoughts changed?
Well, it turns out it's fairly impractical, it's awkward, and Michael thinks you're not recording anymore, so he stops talking.
I'll tell you one thing. You shouldn't know what it's like to go back to heavy clutch again. What? You shouldn't know what it's like to go back to heavy clutch again.
I know the feeling of the light clutch anyway, put it that way.
Aye. Are we going up Cargan Road here?
Aye, best. I'm actually trying to remember to do this thing.
This is the first podcast I think anybody's ever done while drawing silage, and I have to have my tractor completely sealed off from the outside world. My close the sunroof.
Do you close your sunroof?
If I didn't close my sunroof, nobody would hear anything. That's the problem.
Soft. I left mine open.
I'll tell you one thing. It is warm in here. Oh no, big fan.
It'll be interesting to see what this actually sounds like,
I wouldn't exactly say it's going to be the best listener experience now, in fairness.
Oh look, it's a wheelbarrow meeting a wheelbarrow.
Your man there's laughing at me as I come by.
And the kind words of Porrick Leonard. There's a wheelbarrow has met another wheelbarrow.
These boys here in that fence, absolutely class.
That is very nice, yes.
Black fence back here for anybody listening. So yeah, this is part of episode 61, and I really just wanted to be the first podcast that ever did Silage Waste actually on a podcast. I know it's basically like being videoed, but I kind of wanted to put our own spin on it. I also have my fiance with me, Rebecca. She's in the tractor as well, but she has a mic, but you can't see her because of the angle of the camera.
There's a shocking echo. I thought it was just me, but Porrick had to turn it around to me and going like the sound of the echo.
Why is it? There's no echo off mine at all.
You won't be fit to hear it.
That is true as well, but I can hear you clear as day through my tractor.
What is this actually going to sound like though, because of the way we're doing it?
I don't know. We'll soon find out. Ow, ow, ow. That's bouncy anyway.
I was just double checking there that my mic's turned on.
While I'm driving the tractor, we've been at your grass, and this is probably your third load you've actually drawn yourself.
No, I've actually drew 3 loads of yours, believe it or not.
I only thought you got the one load in mine.
No, tell you the truth, the way it sort of worked was, Porrick drove up the road and then I drove home.
Oh, I right enough. That probably works as well. How did you find getting it into the pit?
No, that bit was all grand. It was that long from the first load from I had tipped in it that the pit had moved that much further forward, so I nearly put her on top of the pit.
It's actually handier at the minute, I think, the way we're doing it now, because you can just reverse and tip across the pit.
Were you not doing that to begin with?
No, just watched something drop off my tractor. No, I wasn't even doing that to begin with. I was reversing back and going back a bit. Wait, is that what you were doing?
No, I just always reversed in diagonally, you know.
Well, one of those I tried to reverse in and Ken, I was like, you know what, I'll be really dead on to the loader driver. I'm actually going to park and try and put a load on the other side of the pit, closest to the wall. And I think Porrick can confirm what actually happened there when I tried that.
All I can say is, you think too much at times.
Try that.
And talks too much.
And talks too much. Oh, fuck.
How are we going to get past this now? Oh dear. I fucking hit the Cargan Road, boys. Well, this is not ideal.
What's happening?
No, oh, that was Wingman.
He's like
Back. We'll be right back.
Maybe the one spinning around right up.
That's quite tight, it says.
This is really, really tight. Great podcast footage right enough. If anybody could even see it, which they can. Fucking hell.
Jesus, that is.
Oh! And I caught my wingman on his trailer. Fuck, that's tight.
Oh shit.
Aye, the 2 trailers went ahead a wee bit there.
Oh shit.
Fuck.
I'll tell you for one thing, from where I can see it, it looks like you're basically on top of it. There's another trailer.
See that alright? Is there anywhere else to pull in even on this road?
I'm pulling in just where you're at the big by.
There's a bit here too, I'm going to pull in here. There has to be another way to do this.
What's wrong?
Another trailer coming.
Oh.
I don't know if there is.
Well, let them pull in there.
Hmm?
Let them pull in
Oh,
there.
aye, that's alright.
Just
look at the road, you see people. I don't think there's anything we could have done there.
You could have reversed, but yeah.
Aye, but could I reverse back there?
You're buying now.
Look, there's no damage done to either each other, like.
Yeah. So Michael, before you go to drift days in the Sierra, what do you do?
Bold of you to assume it's working, but if it is, I'd probably go to CDM Sport, and even if it wasn't, I would still go to CDM Sport to get parts, because Connor can provide like all the custom bits for your car. So anything from ECU bits to clutch bits to brakes to literally anything you need, you can get.
Drift car, performance car specialist. Get on to cdmsport.life.
Adam,
Yes.
you like cleaning cars?
I do, yes. Anything but yours.
Yeah, that's fair. But if you were cleaning, what would you use?
Well, got a JTEC kit.
Oh, lad. How would you do it? How would you go about doing it?
Well, we start off with a bit of Citrus pre-wash. Pristine 360 if it really needs it.
Agri spec, yes, proper. Yeah.
Chuck on a bit of snow foam, get it rinsed off, get the shampoo going, and then top it off with some ultra wax.
Deadly. Does he do anything else?
Tons of stuff, lad. Get yourself on the JTEC chemicals.
Plenty of good stuff there, like.
It's just JTEC, kid. Get in your head.
Episode 62 was Phil Kenna and the rain. Jesus, there was some part the night he was here on. Well, there's actually 3 or 4 podcasts we done this year where the rain, the shed we're in now, tin roof. It's really bad in some occasions.
It added a lot of character we didn't need.
Yeah, just made us sound muffly at times. But Phil, I fell in with Phil. Phil's been a listener for a long time, and then I fell in with him at the Drift Games Bash last year. He done me quite a big solid with getting tyres, and I said, you know, how do I get you squared up for this? And he said, sure, get me in the podcast. And to be fair, like, a game for that, because drifting, farming, lorries, he was like an ideal guest.
Yeah, so that was July 23. So bought a 05 4500 Scania 4x2.
4x2?
Yeah, 4x2. Didn't have the funds to buy the 6x2, which is ideally the truck you want because you can take most weight.
Well, okay, so 6x2. Would you not rather 6x4? No.
No, 6x4 is a double drive. And
Yeah.
no.
Suppose you're not doing any.
You're not doing heavy work.
You're not hauling out of quarries, like.
A 6x4 or 6x2?
So 6x4 is the 4 drive tyres.
Yes.
6x2
So basically
is,
the two back axles get power.
whereas that's a 6x2 mid-lift out there, so that you have your front steer, middle steer, rear drive.
Why a mid-lift over a tag?
Steady on the road.
Tags are more mobile, aren't they? You'll turn,
You turn way tighter with a tag.
Yeah.
But my plan is to buy a tag when I get a full-time driver for that. But you can probably let anybody in a tag, but you can let anybody into a mid-lift easier.
Yeah, I
Because
think
you're steady on the road. And the work I'm doing, I didn't need a tag.
I think a lot of boys say, like, you know, even getting in, maybe is it getting out of real tight spots or something. If you have a tag, you might struggle more because of the less weight or something like that. There,
a tag is better traction.
Better traction.
Yeah. Tag will have better traction for low load or tipper work, stuff like that. But they're giddier on the road because your chassis, your wheelbase is short, so she's more wobbly on the road. That takes a bit of getting used to.
So would the trailer bully you a wee bit in a tag?
It would, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Whereas a mid-lift,
Whereas a mid-lift, you have a longer wheelbase, it's steadier on the road.
Yes.
You know, like you'll never see a mid-lift wheeling, whereas you'll see a tag wheeling pulling away.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you ever look at a lad that puts in the shoe pulling over to Oldbridge in the tag, she's fucking lifting, like. Looks cool, but it shows how unstable they are.
Yeah, that's.
But like, they have their purpose as well. If I do get a driver for that truck, I'll be buying me a tag.
So you would drive the tag?
I drive the tag.
And put
I drive
whoever else
mid-lift.
on the mid-lift?
Yeah, because I'd want to stay on the low loader work and stuff like that and I wouldn't be like, oh, there's no low loader work today, but there's loads of curtains I'd work on, I'm not working today. You know, the work will be done, whatever's be done, be shared out, and if whoever I do get driving for me wants to do low loader and flat work as well and is capable of doing low loader and flat work, they can do that. But my thought behind it is prove yourself in the curtain first and
and move on
get
from
the
there.
opportunities, you know. You don't get to go to top spot straight away.
No, absolutely not. And
I didn't, so why should anybody else?
But especially it's you're kind of like an owner driver.
Yeah.
Well, you aren't kind of like, you are an owner driver.
Yeah.
So you
1 or 2 lorries in the go now.
I have 2, but I've 1 working.
Oh, right, okay.
Last week I had the 2 working. I had a driver on trial last week, but she unfortunately doesn't want to stay with me.
Fair enough.
So she's gone on walking floors for a while, but I don't know, I'll keep abusing her, so hopefully she'll come back.
the walking floors wouldn't happen to be out near Eden Dairy, would it? That sort of stuff.
It could be anywhere, yeah.
I sort of know a couple of places.
Kinski's here in Uri as well.
Yes.
All that type of stuff.
Well, like, in an ideal world, like, what would you want to do with the lorries? Like, do you want to have 15 lorries in the road? Do you want 5?
I think 5 is a nice number.
Yeah.
I'd like to have 5 lorries working on good work.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what do you class as good work?
Well paying work. Doesn't matter, it could be curtain sider, it could be low loader, it could be flat trailer. Once it's paying nice, get the rates up.
Mm-hmm. Is it hard to get that though?
Yeah. Because there's always the bollocks down the road that'll do it for €50 cheaper.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know?
I would imagine there's a lot of race in the bottom.
And they're a busy food.
So you just nearly, sounds well bad, but you sort of have to, like, I would say there are a lot of boys running lorries who do go out of business, and they were flat out to the day they went out of business.
Yeah.
Because they've just priced themselves.
Yeah, price them to the ground.
Yeah.
Like, I won't go outside of like 50, 60 kilometres of my yard for any less than 450. You know?
That seems...
and that's it's an okay rate.
Yeah, seems fair. Like, that's a right enough old track. Like, you have to justify going that distance to get the work.
And that depends what work you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, if it's low load work, it's more than that. If it's multi-drop on a curtain side or a flat trailer, it's more than that.
Yeah.
If you have to load your own load, it's more than that.
Yeah.
You know?
And you need to be paid for it. And I think there's a lot of boys go, but sure, you weren't in the lorry there, you weren't doing X, Y, Z,
Yeah,
sure, you're out fucking wanking
don't
about.
realise it takes an hour and a half to load the trailer.
Sure, you're wanking about with a set of chains there. Yeah, it's called strapping the load.
Yeah, it's tying down the load.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, but I think people here, I wouldn't go 50 or 60k for at least for 450. Like, I would need at least that, and people would go, fuck, he's well paid.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people realise how much it costs to run a lorry.
€200 diesel.
Yeah.
Finance.
There's finance.
Yeah.
You know,
there's wages.
You know.
And well, you've got your.
There's a woman to try to keep. You know.
It's not even that. Sure, like, your maintenance of a lorry is far.
You need a wage yourself. At the
a
end
service
of the day,
for the lorry every 30,000 is €1,000.
I would say.
And that's me doing it.
Yeah.
That's not paying labour. You know, that's just parts and oil.
Would you say even like a brand new lorry, would you be happy to go and service it yourself?
Depends. Depends. There's very good maintenance plans out there now. So you do it for 3 years, going through. I use Delaney's in Nace. They're my Scania dealer.
Yes.
And I try to buy everything from them.
But would they work with you alright?
they're brilliant.
There's a lot to be said for that as well.
They are brilliant.
Plenty of dealers there willing to stroke people as well.
Yeah, I have to say they're.
Didn't realise there was even a Scania dealer in this.
Yeah.
But
in episode 63 we had our second female guest on of the year, none other than the Queen of the Cone herself, Caitlin O'Loughlin. Caitlin done a superb drive in Donegal, and we couldn't wait to get her on to get
only took 3 years.
Yes indeed. But turns out that Caitlin was born a header.
Yes.
The first car I got was like a wee Peugeot 106.
Rod.
Yeah, she never gave me any bother.
Petrol or diesel?
Petrol.
1.1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to tie her to a trailer with a ratchet strap and do a front wheel burnout. And then one day like Daddy, he was like, what the fuck's this you're doing? So he started videoing. She went up in flames. I got out of the car and I thought this was great, so I started taking a Snapchat at the time. I was only fucking 12 or 13, Snapchat was only started. And he run in, thankfully, with a fire extinguisher. And he was like, fuck you, he's like, I send that yock. So I was like, alright, parked her up, whatever, left her the day. I went and started her the next day, not a bit of bother there. No damage at all. The heater box went on fire, so took it off. Where she went. They're indestructible.
Oh, we've a mate there. I remember one day they sent me a message. They're like,
it's just the fact that how long did you have the car before you were like, I need to do a burnout?
Well, probably like a year or two.
Oh, fair
Because I used to just like, there's a farmyard above us, so I used to like, there's a steep hill up under it. So we used to go to the back of the farmyard and ramp her off it, but then I lost control and went through the farmer's fence.
That'll do it.
So,
but they take a slap because I was saying like two mates there literally one day sent a message into the group chat saying we've just been in a crash, and I was like, oh my god, and I started trying to ring them and I felt a panic, and I was like, what happened? They're like, oh no, we crashed the 106, but it's fine.
that is the thing.
They're whining us in the group, and then they ended up putting her in a telegraph pole or a concrete bollard or something like that. And the only reason it didn't start again is because while it was driving, they played a game of Russian roulette with the fuses.
Is that not the one they put paint thinners onto as well?
Aye, they ran her in paint thinners. She probably would have went better, to be fair.
Oh, them pugs are indestructible.
And the only reason she didn't start is because they took out that many fuses and did that many things and started cutting wires for the crack while it was still driving. They didn't know which one was what, and they were like, ah, shit, we probably need to scrap this now.
No, well, I started then going and watching different. So then I
Yeah.
bought my first Lexus when I was 16.
What age are you now?
23.
Shouldn't ask girls their age. 23,
I haven't too many wrinkles yet, so it's alright.
That's
You're
it.
about 30, that's where you draw the line. And
Hey!
can't ask the age then.
We're fucked then.
You're 31 in a week. It's the 7th.
9 days.
Ah,
9
you're
days.
16th, that's what it is.
Jeez, that must be depressing.
It is.
Slightly.
Once you get 26, it's depressing.
What's
It's a
more
downhill
depressing
spiral.
is every time you wash the hair, Mower leaves the chat, or else it goes grey.
No, you're going grey. I'm just
I
going
am
fucking
proper.
bald. I'd rather be like you. I'd rather be going grey.
To be honest,
I'm ginger. I wish I was grey 15 years ago.
to be honest, I seen a photo. So I think it was LZ World Tour. Whenever they had LZ Festival, but the first year World Tour whenever
23.
Reese came. By fuck, you had some head of hair then.
That's just. I got engaged. There we go. That's what's done it.
The money leaves the chat and the hair.
Fucking hell, like, that's bad, like. Anyway, just so my missus isn't listening, that's nice of
We
me
can
to become
cut
my
that.
ex.
Yeah, this is how
Bald as
these
fuck.
podcasts last 3 hours.
This is about Caitlin.
I right now, I was wondering, like, Gary, he was like to me last night, you better look at a few questions. I went on to look.
Oh,
It was 3 hours long. I was like, here, no. I watched 10 minutes. It was you chatting about going to a wedding, and then I was like, here, it'll be fine.
Well, to be fair, what we do is we have like the guest section, so you'll not be the full 3 hours. You'll be glad to know, unless you want to be here. In which
I'll
case
not
we
be
can.
chatting 3. I'm telling you, I was like to you, what am I going to chat about? I have a Lexus. I have no money.
But you're farming. What? So you've literally, but sure, fuck, we can talk. Like we'll probably go off on a 30,000 tangents, and you'll be sitting there just going, Jesus
You're
Christ.
still wasting time. You know, it's all
Sorry,
good.
go on ahead.
Case in point. Anyway, you were asking the questions.
Was it?
Aye.
So yes, you got the 106.
Aye.
She went on fire. She
Bought the
started
Le-
again.
Bought the Lexus.
Bought the Lexus.
Bought
Aye.
the Lexus.
So 16, first Lexus.
16 now.
What colour was she?
She was that grey. That's the car. I still have that car. That's my
An
track car
actual
now.
drift car or an actual track car?
Road
then?
car. She was a road car at the time.
Oh.
She was 800 quid, and everyone was like to me, like she was meant. I have that car destroyed. Everyone was like to me,
So that's 2018 you bought that in then?
That's when they just before they went up.
yeah.
Fun fact, 2017, done a summer in England. I was going to buy a Type R then.
He's
but
only
then-
told this story like 7 times in the podcast.
Fuck up, you know.
Fair.
So anyway, there was one 80,000 mile,
got
full
me good.
history, sport, had everything you'd want on it, and it was £850. The temptation to buy it was there.
And why did you
then
not buy it?
I rung Spoiler Centre in Dungannon. How much for a full VU1 kit? £750. I went, what? Then I was like, by the time you buy the car, you kit it, you spray it, you put wheels on it, coilovers. There's $4,000.
Aye, wouldn't be far off it.
And then he was like, it's not worth that. Never be worth that.
No.
That's what everyone says. She looked at the amount of Lexus were ruined.
Hindsight is a wonderful thing.
Sure, that's why they're all going up in price. Like,
Aye. Like that Yacht of mine's got a fucking, I'd say 2 or 3 quarters. Like any time I wreck her, like there's one day at Manor and I put a full hole in the quarter because I ended up on top of the barrier.
that'll happen, huh?
Aye, that was grand, got down. She didn't, there was not a ball in her, so I kept her at it. I didn't even pull in, like, because I was just like, fuck it. That was grand. The little boy, he cut out the full a quarter and welded another one in, and I've done it twice since. Like, not obviously on the barrier, but just with different ones, like door pushing, whatever. Welded boots in there, welded.
The best way, I think, to learn in general is to have, and some I had, and then got rid of it. I had a track Lexus as well. Well, I bought it for £600. It was destined for the track, and then sold it. And it's only Lexus, one of like 4 Lexuses I know that's ever overheated.
On episode 64, we had none other than the head of the BRM group, Stephen Keeley.
Oh, what a guy. What a guy.
An advocate that told us more or less we learned so much off Stephen and from the business side of things, and how he grew his business from nothing, and
not feared to put his money where his mouth is.
The level of commitment and that there that he's put in,
unbelievable.
And really just the sheer level of investment that has went in to leave the Rev It Up festival.
Yep,
as
that's a key word in this next clip.
It was a fantastic day, and then we were looking at the layout of the field then. So I think the layout at Rev It Up's field is fantastic. You have all the tractors coming in, as you know, they come in gate 3.
Yep.
They go along the bottom, they now weigh in.
Yep.
They go round safely into the different lanes. We put up full stock proof fencing.
Mm-hmm.
We have built full hard core roads all around the field.
Seen that,
so
as
there's
well,
no more sticking or bogging or wasting
No,
time,
you can
because
pull
again,
in.
these tractors are coming on. You mentioned there Adrian's tractor at 15 ton.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how the hell's a bog field going to stand up to it?
Mm-hmm.
So we made hard core roads all the way around that those big machines could sit on them. There wasn't a single tractor stuck at the weekend. No one got bogged. There's no delays trying to pull people out. We then fenced off the entire field that the audience could get right down to see the action and go right back and see the tractor still in the lanes, as you noticed.
Yes.
Good layout.
Absolutely.
But also then we opened up the top left hand side for the racing lawnmower park.
Mm-hmm.
We brought the kids nicely into the middle, so the way the roads are 360, we put a full motorhome spec across the top. All the electric and power points are all up there. Full infrastructure build, so that actual event field now has fibre in it. It has
You were saying
power.
that.
We put street lights along the track for night poles. Each of the 3 gates has street lights on them. There's manholes built right throughout the park for all the sound system, the cabling, etc. We created the kids park, then we decided we'd create a trader park, which was a great hit. People would walk around all the trader stalls. The food park then is lovely position just as you come in.
Yep.
And you can walk
Yes.
down, and you noticed all the chip vans, coffee shops, etc., all down along the far side.
Yep.
What I liked about that is I went up and I checked it on Saturday. You can go far enough back from the action to get about a peace and quiet, have your lunch. You can still actually see the action.
Yep.
Yes.
But you're far enough back that it's not disturbing you at your lunch.
I noticed that as well when we were walking actually round. It was
And
like
the stretch marquees over it, wow. Game changer there
Yeah.
in the field. Beautiful. You sit inside if there's a shower of rain, stall your lunch. We then decided to double the size of the marquee. The guy putting up the marquee said, complete head case, he says, not required. Absolutely wrong call.
Yep.
The marquee was packed. And then we decided to change the marketing of the event.
This is a really interesting point. I really want to touch on this. And if you had
Yeah.
brought this up, I would have brought this up because you
Yeah.
said this outside. This is so interesting.
Yeah.
There's definitely thinking out of the box.
Yeah. Well, we decided then, how do we get this event that it's a tractor pull, but it's going to appeal to everyone? So if you want to take your wife or your girlfriend or your family or whatever, what's going to encourage them to come along? And the tractor pull community is an easy sell community. They're coming anyway.
They're going to support.
We're all into it.
Yeah.
We all
Absolutely.
know where there's a tractor pull. We know what's
Yes.
happening. We know who's running it.
And a chance to pull on a good track.
Yeah. So we're going to turn up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know that Noel's running his pull now in 2 weeks' time.
Mm-hmm.
We'll all be there. You know what I mean? So I decided then in business, I says, like, well, we don't have to market this to these guys. They're sold.
Yeah.
So how do we get everyone else there? So we changed the entire event to a festival. And we started driving. We employed an event manager. We employed a social media expert, Alan, and we employed Brian Moore on the event side. And my team got together and we had 2 meetings a week for at least 10 weeks leading up to Rev It Up. And we decided then to go full throttle festival.
Because I noticed that actually it started being the Rev It Up Festival, and I was like,
Yeah.
And it's subconscious.
Yes.
Like you nearly over time you're like, I rev it up, and then by the time you said to us on the Friday night, you were like this is going to be a festival. I have live bands and all, and the penny just dropped, and I was like, literally, that's what they've been telling us that all along.
Yeah. So we at the event we decided we built the roads specifically to keep the marquee not that far away, but far enough away that the sound system that we were running on the event track wasn't actually interfering with the bands inside.
Yes.
And to be fair to Rob Andrews and his team, done a fantastic job. That you could actually I felt it, I tested it a few times during the weekend. You could walk in towards the marquee, you could clearly hear the commentary going on. By the way, Ernest Burrows and Paul Fielding had a massive shout out. Two fantastic commentators at the weekend. And last year, Paul Higgerty, brilliant. But as you walked into the main marquee, one just switched over to the other. You went from the commentary to the live music.
Yes.
And that was
There's a lot more to that than you would think. I was the audio engineering.
Audio engineering was brilliant.
Yeah.
And you literally could nearly, at the door of the marquee, you could step forward like that and you could hear a live band. You could step back like that and you're back in the track again.
Episode 65 was our kind of follow up on the Run to Cork.
It was like the panel or the committee.
Yeah, I just wish we had more of these microphones as opposed to doing the way it was recorded with about 3 different setups and none really properly tied into each other.
When I say we are in a tap water budget, that might even be too dear because the water main charges.
And the filters are long blocked.
Then, to be fair, one of the coolest parts of the journey for me was going through the Jack Lynch tunnel.
That was class. That was
very cool.
that tunnel is not a kilometre long. Like
no, it's about 400 metres.
Thanks for that warning.
Oops.
Sorry. This tunnel, I get a video. It's about a kilometre. Next thing I see daylight, I'm like, oh.
It's alright, Gemma's phone shut down when it was recording a video of me.
Yep.
I'm
not gonna lie. She was very upset.
Oh, I know.
She went very quiet.
She was. I
went
just sat
so
there
quiet.
and I goes, hey, Gemma. I was like, what do you do? Like,
and then you're sat now. Fuck that. After that.
So then we came out and then you went on ahead. And the sat-nav,
because I couldn't get behind you again.
The sat-nav route was saying go out the very first turn off.
Yep.
But I was on the radio going, no, don't do the first turn off.
And where was
the
I?
Second one.
On the first turn off. On the sand road.
On the skip road.
To turn right, left lane to go straight. Nobody will let me in again. Next thing I hear is a Fiat going past me. And I'm like, for fuck's sake.
Correction, heard the Fiat from a kilometre.
I said the back was like, that's them.
I can sense it.
The
tunnel for me was, you heard the Fiat, and then the next thing Phil coming the lorry, and you just heard the
There's no way I could have got all these in that one.
No, probably not. But it was, I just remember coming through this and I was like, this is surreal. This is absolutely class. Because I was like, we're literally going under the Jack Lynch tunnel in fucking Cork City. Like,
I was just
how far are we from home at this point?
What? I want to play bar.
I'm going to say this. To me, if something had happened to the tractor at that stage, we had Phil's lorry.
Yeah. 100%.
Like, to me, at that point, if anything went wrong,
I thought Laurie went wrong.
I was going to say that.
I was half an hour would have had him away and emptied him back.
Exactly. Phil's still there as well. So Phil's in the middle of the country now. Granted, he was doing fundraiser because he's very friendly with Jay from Precision Tints and Graphics, who runs it. But he's Kildare, so he's not that far from Thurles. He's also not that far from Monaghan. And he's not that far from Cork, because Kildare's probably bang centre, middle of the country. Like, for our say, we were in the east. So, like, he could have been, at any one stage, he was only 2 hours away. And Phil's the type of fella would get out of his bed at 4 o'clock in the morning if he had to. But no, I'm sure you've all got that measure of him by now. Like, he's a good lad. Like,
to me, when we got through the tunnel, I was like, even if something does burst a pipe break,
we're there. You had hydraulic fittings and all, like we sort of screw-in fittings and all with you anyway, just in brake fittings and stuff, just in case. But we
it's an off the road job.
We come up then. Jesus, it was some pull. We should have actually went further straight again. We turned off the one for Kinsale. We should have went further on and came off at the viaduct.
I wouldn't know.
But the way it worked with you, we met you in the Kinsale Road.
Aye. Oh,
you couldn't have timed it better.
Aye, but you know why? Because he had his live location on, and I followed the sat nav.
Aren't you glad?
What?
Aren't you glad?
Aye, but it was running out. It was like 4:30.
That's
over.
right.
It was 4:27. And I was like zooming in. I was like, oh, we'll meet them here.
I think that was the point. Jeremy rang me to see where we were getting, how we were getting on.
Oh, so I turned my radio off. I took that thick. I was like, off. I know that's a tease for 20 minutes.
We couldn't tell.
And I turned it back on when I seen you coming.
But we got, like, that climb out of Cork City towards up the Kinsale Road was some climb. And I was just like, after all that, I was like, do you know what, we're close enough to Cork. If the temperature hand wants to start left, we'll be fine. And the one thing I have to say about my tractor is it may be slow, but it just hangs. So, like, I'm doing 26.50 normally. She drops to like 25.50, and I'm just like deadly.
You're going that slow. The TN was half nearly dying because she was so low down.
Yeah, but like I'm not dropping that much in speed. She seems to just hang all right. At least the rev count, unless the rev counter's lying to me, which might be possible. But
sorry, I was stuck behind down and the end
Nothing at all. Like that was hard. Like you saying, you're like, oh no, it's slightly wonder coming over.
There was times when I did look.
Somebody standing on the road and started flowing.
There was a couple of times I did look and I was like, how am I getting away from the 40 here? But then I kept remembering the 40's no turbo on it.
Yeah.
But then
that happened in the tunnel. There was a massive gap between you.
Oh, really?
I was like,
I was also holding off a wee bit.
Right.
Okay, fair. Just in case you had to split in or something.
Yeah.
In that kilometre tunnel.
Yes.
Never letting you that bad down.
Of all things to give up about.
I'm giving up because all I saw was.
I don't know why I also said, who did I? And then back I was like, you told Jeremy he'd been his for 2, and I goes, no, if we'd have left at 8 o'clock in the morning, we would have been. And back I
said, what, 7 o'clock in the evening?
And then we got the band, and I was like, right, what do we do here? And it was like,
well, we were looking fed.
Adam then went in a wee hunger fit.
No, I had to disassociate. I had to take 5 minutes myself.
5?
You
disappeared for an hour.
I nearly washed your car. I had my dinner wherever it was, snack, and I was sitting at the back of the bed and I was like looking at the car wash like, fuck, I can wash that car. I probably should have, but I never bothered.
But so then I remember like when we got the band and my fuel gauge was like, and I was like, we don't have that far left to go. Should be alright. Because Jeremy's really isn't that far from Bandon.
No.
What's that on, like 7 kilometres or something? I was like, if I run out of diesel here, it's just bad luck.
Episode 66 was the one and only Gareth Galt. Super duper high profile guest and also complete gentleman and legend on the podcast. Gareth done us some solids throughout 2025.
Just a wee small thing for myself, like, as I think we've alluded to this many times before, when we sat down and we decided we would do this podcast, or I said I would give a hand to do it and ended up, where I'm at, but like, he was up there with one of those, wouldn't it be cool to get Gareth on?
This clip in particular I used because it just shows the type of person Gareth is. It's about a little fella called Ricky, and Ricky wasn't well, and Gareth just pulled out all the stops to make sure that Ricky's last few months on this earth were something to enjoy, and you can literally hear Gareth fighting back the tears in this clip.
Let me tell you this wee story. This has to be said. A few years ago, a few wee things I've done as well. I've done a few like make a wishes. Oh boys, they kill you.
I would say so. Aye.
Anyway, can't get emotional, but anyway, we've done a few bits and pieces, very personal, and I had always sort of tried to handle the most of my own. I introduced Kirsty, did one with me, and this other great family we met from Cork, West Cork. I was heading over to drive at that point, and I met the mum and the dad, Ricky's mum and dad, and I was just chatting to them, and anyway, and that's where my 110 is.
Yes.
That family, but
Jeremy told us about that. Jeremy told me about that. Yeah.
Real nice tractor, real clinkers. They asked for it, and I said absolutely.
That's,
but anyway,
that's right. Jeremy told me.
Back to the connection with specialist group. So Kieran would ring, "About you, big fella," and we'd be chatting away, and he was just a wee bit like, "What's wrong? You're not your cheery self." I was like, "Ah." I explained a little bit about what we had done, and that's going to sound weird. So the backstory is I met Ricky. He was maybe 14 at the time, and all he wanted to do was he troubled with cancer, and he was going for treatment in Dublin. The way down, even further, like way on past where we were,
like Castletown, Bearhaven direction,
heading on towards Skibbereen, out a wee bit in that direction, and. You know, there was a big journey for them, you know, going up, and what he really wanted was, he loved the 110, he loved his fate, and what they really wanted to do was come and spend the day with us, but I felt it was a wee bit too far to travel or whatever, so I made the suggestion. This is why I have some of the best business mentors, and this is, anyone starting out in business, get the right people around you. Country Crest, so Michael Hoy and his brother Gabriel, but mostly Michael, absolute legend to me. I nickname him the Godfather. And I rang Michael and I says, "Michael, young lad," I says, "could we meet in the middle and we'll organise whatever, I'll organise hotel or whatever, but you know, show tractors or whatever." So we did that. Oh, we fell at a great time. Then COVID hit, time passed on. So to cut a long story short, fast forward to Tullamore Show a few years later, and I met the family again. I didn't realise at that time there was a squad of them. There's daughters and wee Ricky.
Yes.
I knew when I seen him. He wasn't well.
Yeah.
And sisters had basically come home from wherever they were. I think one was in Australia, and one was in, and he was just at the stage where
I know what you're going to say. Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
So then I had a good chat with the family, and I says, "Look, is there anything we can do?" And Ricky says, "Take me to see New Holland's getting built."
Positive.
I was like, took the eldest sister's phone number or whatever, great girl, and I was like, I can make this happen, but time wise, what are we looking at? We're talking weeks here, like.
Yeah.
So he was coming to the ploughing anyway, and it was all organised. The Farmers Journal had got involved, I think, at that time and all, and it helped facilitate getting him in and out of the ploughing. There was only so many stands he wanted to go to. Ours was one, and whatever other stand. So I had been on the blower, spoke to New Holland. We'd done the things. That's why I don't run anybody down behind it all. I'm a dear man, but I love my New Holland Massey or whatever. I rang, and the boss man at New Holland, it was Pat and Mark Crosby at the time, and they basically were saying, whatever the big man wants, let's make it happen. He's been very good to us. Well, I've done 2 Make-A-Wishes at Basildon as such. This wasn't a Make-A-Wish because we didn't need to use them. We really do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And flew the family over. I said to him, right, flew the family over, and anyway, we had a great time at the factory. Very ill, had to go for an afternoon nap and whatever had to be done.
Yeah,
We had great crack that night. We played cards, believe it or not.
Some of the best crack you'll have is playing cards, to be fair.
But I didn't realise I won them that whole thing. I went 10 pound bowl, me and my Ruth, we were sort of in the afternoon, there was a wee fun park thing, and I won these tickets, like going to the Jet Centre, and I got these cards. Anyway, we got the whole family together that night, and we started playing this game. Well, hey, big man up there wouldn't let me win for the love nor money. Hey, I couldn't win a thing. And the family said to me, that's when I realised the importance of being there, because I thought just organise it and step back. But what I realised that night from chatting to the family is they said it was one of the most normal that they'd felt in a long time.
Just sitting there having the crack, laughing.
And that maybe was more important than the trip.
Everything
to the
else could be
factory.
put to the side and they could just
I was learning
be
this.
themselves.
So the wee man was going to be 16 the following Monday.
Yeah.
Now, look, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here, but we weren't sure if he was going to make it to Monday. I says, hey boy, you're 16 on Monday. There's time for one more wish. What are we going for? And he says, I want to drive that 110/90 from Country Crest that they've done exactly the same as yours. Because when he was down, he couldn't drive it, whatever, for insurance purposes, etc., etc. So I said, no bother. Got home. Michael, can I take that 110/90 down to Court? I'll take it down in the lorry for these guys, you know, for his birthday, hopefully, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Kieran O'Hagan, telling him all this. What? Not a chance. Or Sean will fly you down.
I had a feeling that's where it was going to go. Yeah.
So here's Ruth and I, and Sean O'Hagan. They've went and hired their helicopter.
Sean just literally lives about 200, 300 metres up there.
Do whatever they do. Helicopter, gathered up, down, flew down, lifted Ricky, Mum, Dad, flew us up to Michael Hoy's. The rest of the family travelled up.
Yeah.
And, oh man, he put that 110 through the gears like you never seen. And Michael Hoy, and that is CEO of a proper big company.
Mm-hmm.
The whole birthday cake organised, whole tour of the tractor collection. What a day. Sean O'Hagan was blown away by it. He was absolutely blown away. And then, sadly, we were at his funeral.
It was
shortly after that.
That would be the case.
But, you know, that's the O'Hagan family.
Episode 67, we had our third instalment of the listener questions.
3.0.
And really, in that podcast, we sort of went into a good discussion about the nutrient action plan and how that was going to affect farmers, going forward, and I suppose how it would really affect everyone. And I think more or less discussed in great detail. And I suppose Adam was there too. He would know fully about it, and it was interesting to see the likes of reaction from him.
What that gets me is if you look at like even single farm payments, every year it's less and less and less and less and less.
But the only reason that was ever brought in was just
subsidies
to be able to have cheap food.
Yeah,
food's not cheap anymore.
No.
You know, you go into a restaurant, you're not getting a steak for any less than 25 quid. But then again, beef is $6.50 a kilo at least.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
part.
scary. But like,
that's how far does it go? The only problem, though, I would say with farming is that when the farmer gets a reasonable price for their thing, they go fucking cuckoo, and they end up having mad prices go. You know,
my fear is a lot of the small to middling farms are just not going to be able to make ends meet. The price of machinery is not getting any cheaper. The price of anything, milk and parlours, whatever, isn't getting any cheaper. And the guys that would have been able to live off 50, 60 acres, you know, even 10, 15 years ago, in 10 or 15 years' time, that's not going to be a justifiable amount of acres. Like, where you're sitting at the minute, like, your amount of acres, I would say you're on the cusp.
Well, the only other thing about it is more and more younger people don't want to do it.
I think there's going to be a lot more hobby farmers like myself, you know, 30, 40 acres, and people doing it just for the love and trying to stay below that. Like, look, like for instance, like
say in 10 years' time, if you know yourself and Becca decide to have a few children and that,
sweet free labour. Wait, what?
I but say for instance, in a theoretical universe, right? You have 3 children. They're quite young and not there.
Yeah.
And you have all these other things that they want to, you know. Becca's like, doing between music lessons, maybe going to football and different bits and bobs. Where the fuck have you the time to run after 10 cows? You know, if you're still doing a podcast,
I think you can make it work.
If you're still doing a podcast, there's another so many hours out of a week.
Well, there's me now. Like, I travel for work, and like now I'm on the cusp of going back to the bringing cattle in and all, and that's going to be hard to negotiate. Like, to try and I'll have to just time it with bales and stuff. There's going to have to be bales that might just have to be sacrificed, because I say after a couple of days and they haven't eaten, I'm going to go, right, well, I need to go in with 2 new bales here, because I can't expect Becca to go and jump in the map row and do whatever needs done. She can throw meal to them, but you know, like, you will. I think you can make it work if the heart's in it, but I just feel like like I think just the way I see it is a lot of farms are going to get swallowed up, and it's going to be like big factory farms, which I also don't really agree with, because I like seeing cows out of grass. I like seeing cows and see, like, look, people who keep cows in all year round, that's fine, as long as it's not cruel. That's fine. I don't personally like that. I know it's incredibly efficient, especially if you're zero grazing. You get more efficiency out of your acreage and etc. But I like seeing cattle at grass. That's just the long and short of it. So these these big shut up, man.
He's like, I enjoy to see the cow or two out of the grass too, you know.
But it's, and I do think, like, as time goes on, you are going to have these more factory style farms, and then what's going to happen there is you're going to get more of the rise of the opposite.
They'll not be able to have them if the nutrient action plan comes into place. You know, the amount of ground they're going to need to have for it.
And then you're going to have more people protesting, saying, "Oh, look how cruel this is," and blah 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 and blah blah blah, and that's just going to try and shut it down even more.
True.
Which is kind of what you're seeing with the nutrient action plan and all. So I don't think the future.
That's the first I've heard of the action plan.
Oh, on the NAP? You not heard of the? All right, well.
Essentially, what it would mean is for us to keep the same amount of cattle, we'd have to double the ground.
Well, how's that fair?
It's not.
How you meant to just magically come up with twice the amount of ground?
So basically, this is what I'm saying. You'll have less cattle, same amount of ground. How does that pay?
Is someone in a nice wee office writing all this shit?
You pretty much.
So I could circle back on that net zero stuff, because I think that is the biggest scam going, because it's not feasible.
What baffles me is, for the UK to be net zero, it's handier to import more food to offset the carbon on another country.
Does that
but
make
that's
sense?
not sorting anything.
No, it's not. It's literally kicking.
It's like robbing Tom the Pippi.
Do you ever see?
And the likes of your city goers or anybody,
they don't care.
not city goers, even anybody. I want to go on a holiday to Spain. They need to go on an airplane to go to Spain. That's obviously a lot of a big carbon footprint.
But sorry, because
they need to offset that in something else.
They love to blame cows, but you go on that Flight Radar app and you zoom out, you can't even see half the countries or the amount of planes that are flying over.
Hey, it's alright. Everybody's getting their avocados in from Brazil.
Oh, well, that's real good.
Yeah.
That's real net zero.
That's real net zero. But it's fine. You shift India, China, Brazil, do not give one flying fuck about their emissions. Or their carbon credits or whatever. They don't care.
We're railing out the solar farms, but China's pumping out a new coal-fired power
stations, yeah. Shut down the entirety of the power stations in Ireland, like all the peat-fired power stations, and now they're just importing the fuel from all other places. Like,
but it's alright, because that's not our carbon, apparently.
Yeah, and it's alright because
still getting emitted.
Fuck the people in the Midlands who no longer have jobs, or these entire places that just have lost entire economies because, someone in the fucking government
You're digging a natural thing out of the ground.
For episode 68,
I wasn't there for this one.
Yes, Adam attended the LZ World Tour and was down there and on the behalf of the pod, and he's becoming an properly.
He's been getting very involved with he's integrated into the team in terms of media, and going forward, Adam will be a lot more heavily involved in the media side of things. But basically, he went through the motions of basically what I felt last year when I did LZ World Tour. The whole kind of I shouldn't be here.
Is that the first time you've seen proper in person like real top? No.
Sure. Me and Michael went to Dunleary.
Oh, right.
I went to U-Class at Dunleary.
That was Irish Drift Championship back in the day.
That was a good spot.
That was drifting the docks.
Yes, that was a good spot. But no, and I sure went to Tyrone too.
True. Yes. True. You were at Tyrone last year. Just you weren't doing
just
media.
For the crack. I wasn't with you at that point, but I was watching you. So that's
right. Yes.
I think I have photos of you on the track. I was like zooming in on you.
To be fair, that side of media is like I'm not going to lie. Whenever I was doing it along with Michael, he was at one side of the track and the other trying to get where I couldn't get a good video of it. He was then fit to get a good video, and then he was fit to transition the two in the video.
That's the difference between me being there by myself and me being there with another person. Something I missed, you could have got, Michael could have got, but it is what it is. I'm glad I went. I'm glad I was there.
You would do it again, sort of.
100%. I wouldn't even think twice.
Like for because obviously you have a front row seat to see the stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool that way.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of why I took a moment to myself at the very end and was like, how have I got here? What is happening right now?
This one time, I had a conversation with... No, you did not even have a conversation. Michael just asked you or told you.
Well, I was always going, and then I went, well, I'll see if I get a media pass. But obviously you've got one before, so I kind of assumed...
Michael got last year.
Oh, I kind of assumed we were going to get it, but... I'm looking forward to the Drift Bash here in November.
You're all going down yet?
Aye. Are you coming? I heard you're coming.
What date in November is it?
No.
Any standout moments from LZ World Tour?
You could put me on the spot with that one. Can we redo that?
Yeah.
Hang on. Standout moments. Bear with me. Please bear with me. My brain is not functioning right now. Honestly, between the three of us, I know you're only listening to this, Michael, it is a blur. It was fun watching James Dean run all three of his cars back to back to back.
Yes.
The Eurofighter, the RX-7, and the mind blank.
The S14, the original.
Yes.
The
The
original
absolute
S14.
classic one. Yes, they were good. That man can do some 360s.
Oh, we can.
What is it with 360s? Are just very fun to watch.
It's like I suppose you say normally if like qualifying and they do a good run or whatever, it's just like a wee fancy thing to do after
And
it.
the qualifying, everybody was doing it to the point where the commentators were joking. It was like, if you don't do one now, you're not getting through.
Like funny. It was 2023, the second year went down, or the last time was down on it. I can't mind who was talking, like Halford, possibly, no. Can't mind who exactly I was talking to, but I basically said to every one of them, go and do a 360 at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fairly sure
they did.
The majority of
Yeah.
No, I am not going to claim that this was the crack.
You're bad influence is what you're trying to say.
Maybe.
Yeah, you sound like a bad influence.
But sure, 360 is always nice to see.
It was very, very fun. And the crowd loves it. You hear the crowd going, yeah. When it happens, like, Adam Ozzy did one too. I was like, oh, hello.
Would you say that many roughly would have been there? Would there have been
crowd wise?
Was it a bunged? Oh, it was bunged.
Packed. Every grandstand was packed and the entire bank was packed.
Did they have the
Car
same
show was
grandstand
packed.
at the corner as well?
They had the covered one, an uncovered one, and an uncovered one. So 3.
Two uncovered ones?
Yeah, I think there was 3. Maybe I'm completely wrong.
Oh, right.
There was a lot of people, to be fair.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Felt bad having to walk 3 people through to get to the gate. I was like, sorry.
Yes. But here, like, fair fucks to you for doing it. Was it Kieran went down along with you then for it?
Kieran, and then we met Taylor down there. So
were they showing their cars as well?
Oh, all 3 of us parked up and showed off. Car show was good. Car show was very good.
How did you find the quality of the cars?
Fantastic. There's some cars I've never even seen before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Excuse me. Saw Nick, a friend of the pod.
That's right.
LS400. Yes. He got a wee thing from BC Racing.
Can I just say this? And this is no disrespect to yourself. This has come from me. Right. I feel like I'm Michael looking at me trying to describe Driftmasters, the Ireland round last year.
Yeah.
He went, and the notable things I was like,
It's really hard to remember things.
I don't know.
I've had a busy week, work day.
Who went against who? And I was like,
yeah, I was hoping you weren't going to ask me that.
I don't know.
I'm so focused on photos and videos, I wasn't even listening to who was coming next.
Class.
It's just whoever came over the hill.
Episode 69 was Al Dillon.
What a legend.
Oh, what a guy. Al Dillon, we could have been having that conversation with Al Dillon for 8 hours later.
8 hours? 24.
Yeah. Alan's old school. Alan would be probably, I would say, the generation above us. Max Power era was still kind of a thing when he was going through, and listening to him talk about old builds and history and stuff, and you're kind of just sitting going like, "Jeez, I wish I was there for that."
As I was saying, like you had a Corsa, but then you had Bora front lights on it.
Yes.
Then you had probably Punto lights or different lights put in the back of it.
Bad boy bonnets.
Bad boy bonnet. I done one of those, so I did. I had the little side thing, literally just mate of mine, standard bonnet.
There was a lot of cars that really sit them.
Yeah.
Corsa Bs.
Yeah, of course they did. They genuinely
Golf
did.
yeah. Oh yeah.
But these were, as I said back then, this is when lads were thinking outside the box. They literally were just fucking bits off other cars that they had, and they were like, as I said, like, they were being unique with cars. Not putting off what lads are building now. Some of the cars that lads are building now, but like literally, this was proper. There was a lot more body shops who done this type of
like
stuff.
specialised
In it, but because they were getting this like big enough money off the lads back in the day to do it. Like lads were coming in, they were spending every penny that they had on their cars. Like so, I was that person, still am that fucking person. So you know, like
to be honest, like funny, we actually talked about this recently enough on a recent podcast. There was a place in Marfeld. Like now you've got like kind of like your CC auto styling and like 86 Aero and all those guys are now, and drift kits and all them guys, and they're now doing all that kind of stuff. And
like
they're
every
probably
chaser that you see nowadays is the same kit.
Yeah, well, it's either an Origin or a BN Sports.
Yeah, BN Sport kit.
Like
if I was to build one, I'd probably do the exact same myself.
But
it looks nice.
Yeah, it does.
Something I'm looking at for another vehicle I have. But anyway, we like back then it seemed to be you bought like the same bumper, but it went to a different car.
Yeah, so that would have been that Combat kit. Back then, every fucking car. Sorry, lads. Every car had that Combat kit in it.
Absolutely, can swear.
Fuck. No, every car had that Combat kit in it. That's where I always stayed. OME plus. If you know what I mean. But I never went down the road of putting the full Combat kit in it. What I did think of it at one stage to do it with the RS Turbo and the Fiestas and stuff like that, but every second car kind of had them back then. So you had your 106s had them, you had your Corsas had them, Novas had them, Astras had them. Like,
would you have said that's the equivalent of like a Maxton kit and a Self?
That would be the equivalent now to a Maxton lip kit here nowadays.
Out of curiosity, what year was it, and what was your thoughts whenever? Yes, you've all the originality stuff, like everybody doing something different. To somebody pulls in and just something that's absolutely licking tar. Sort of stock body, nothing mental done to it, but still getting into the show. Like, were you like, what have you done to it, or?
I wouldn't. I was never one to give out. Well, there was always different types of modders back then. Like, you had someone.
Still are.
Oh, there is. Like, you have someone who basically, I said, doing the unique stuff, and then someone who went to Halfords and just bought everything off the shelf, and they were sticking like just a stick-on exhaust and like horrible things, like 40 different lights on it. The CB, and don't get me wrong, the CB aerials, that was like a felt thing.
I only like them if they're practical.
Yeah, like that was like kind of back down.
Like twin cams are very cool.
There was literally some lads who had the taste up their arse, but you couldn't really say much to them because they were.
That was their pride and joy.
That was their pride and joy, you know. But you're looking at it going, what are you thinking? You know?
You do still see some stuff like that now, and you're like...
What year would it have transitioned from your big body kits to the real clean look?
Probably going up into 2009, 2010, but back then you had the Celtic Tiger kind of went downhill, and then...
Do you think it was a subsequent
I think it was the older... Some of us got back at that age, the older we got when we could get better cars, but then the kind of younger version coming behind us weren't really doing that. They didn't really have the money.
Yeah, so that's what I think.
We were in the boom back then, if you know what I mean, and we had the money, we were getting good money at work, and we could spend the monies on it. But the generation behind me didn't really have. Yeah, well, no, you was kind of probably the next kind of generation, if you know. But there's me, I have 8 nephews or 6 nephews, something like that. None of them are into cars.
Well, out of curiosity, do you think then a subsequent thing, so you're in the Celtic Tiger, you're making big dough, and then obviously you're a 17, 18, 19-year-old after the Celtic Tiger?
So that was us.
Yeah.
You couldn't really afford to do much, so all you could was like coilovers and wheels and just go as low as possible.
See, the dub scene really took off up here anyway. I know the South still kind of had a bit more of a Jap scene, but the dub scene took up massively up here in about 09. And that was all about the clean look.
Yeah.
And it was all...
I even ventured into that for a while myself. Even I mean, I'd VR6 Golf. I'd two,
really?
Yeah, 106 Mark 2
Mark
one.
3?
Mark 2.
Oh, Mark 2?
Mark 2 one, yeah. Was it Mark 2, Mark 3? Mark 2.
Were
then
they four-wheel
I'd
drive or two?
Oh, shit, I don't
Two-wheel
know.
drive.
Two-wheel drive.
Yeah, all front wheels. Then I'd 106 GTIs. What else did we have then? There was a couple of other nice.
But how does someone with a 330 horsepower Skyline...
Had to sell it.
Aye.
I had to get rid of it. Or get my license taken off me and being put in the clinker.
Oh, due to alleged things that allegedly happened.
things in Mexico.
Yes.
But the policia in Mexico followed me one evening.
Oh.
But followed me for about 10-15 minutes.
Oh.
And didn't put the flashers on whatsoever.
Oh.
And then pulled me over. But lucky enough back then, I kind of knew one or two cops, sergeants back in the day, and literally he rang me the next day after telling him the story, and he goes, right, you have two choices. You sell the car, you get rid of it, it goes under the carpet. That car seen around this town again, you're fucked. So that car went. That car sold. And I believe it or not, that car's still on the go.
In episode 70, we had our last female guest of the year on.
We need to
Abby
get more
Higgins.
female guests.
Oh, of course, yeah. We were talking to Abby about, you know, more or less how she ended up bagging a Corsa because she didn't want her dad to know it was lowered.
Here, situation we've all been in. Your parents don't want you to lower your car.
I put your subwoofers into the back of the Polo at the time it was lowered.
Yeah.
And, like, who was I fooling? Myself. What got you into cars though, Abby?
Oh, it's like I was saying to you earlier, like this is
Yeah,
like...
but people don't know that.
Oh, sorry,
Yes.
okay. So what got me into I've never heard this question before, ever. I'm so glad you asked.
You would swear she has never done this before.
I didn't really come prepared. Website a big
Hang on.
monologue.
Right, so the $1 million question, like everybody always asks me, that's like the first question that people do always ask, how'd you get into
What happens
cars?
if you don't have $1 million?
I know. Well, my parents aren't into it whatsoever, and I'm so jealous of people's parents who are. Like, you know, they're so lucky.
Yeah.
Like, you
agreed.
don't understand how lucky they are. Like, they're like that fella there that won that Evo, because we were just chatting about him. He had 2 kids with him that day. Like, I was like, you
Growing up,
lucky
it's like my
bastards.
dad. Like my dad used to have an Evo. My dad had a Nova. Like you hear people going, "Oh yeah, my dad a Mark II Escort," and I'm just like,
Imagine.
so you know what it's like.
Imagine, do you know what my dad drives? A Vauxhall Atom.
Oh God.
I know. Like, how annoying. My dad comes into my shed and he's just like, what are you doing? And I'm like, it doesn't even matter. It'll just go like that over your head. My mum as well, like, she just was not interested. Like, I was saying, like, I tinted my windows once and my engine blew up, and she said it was because I tinted my windows.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely. You see videos of that as well. It's like, oh, I know I've got a warning light in the car. Well, if you hadn't lowered that car, it wouldn't be a problem. Pretty sure the suspension and the engine management aren't related, Patricia.
my
But sure,
turbo.
whatever you think. Like, you know.
yeah, you go on ahead,
Yeah.
Cream. Like, but so they tried to put me off it. Like, anytime I spent money on cars, I remember I got my first ever car was a limited edition Corsa D, right?
Oh, wow, like everybody else.
My dad made me get it right.
To
Do you
be
know what I mean?
honest,
Like,
right?
I
Not
loved it.
slagging the man out at all, but
They actually
were actually a wild
They
nice
were a
car.
nice looking
like,
car.
Oh, yeah.
Like
There
the
were so many
Fiestas
ones.
with a kit on them at the time were really nice.
Brilliant
too.
car. I bagged it. Yeah, it was the first time.
Did you? What colour was it?
White. I was
Like
bagged
the
on
pin
stamp.
bag.
Pin
that?
bagged
Yeah,
it.
I remember seeing the pictures of that.
Yes.
So
Was
did
that
you-
the first thing you ever did to it? Though?
Yes.
So did you know the likes of like?
Yeah.
Did you know the likes of like Harry Wheatley then back in the day? He had
I
the,
do.
yeah, like Steve Ward and all those guys.
Oh my
like,
gosh,
That's a
they're
throwback,
English
like-
ones, aren't
yeah,
they?
well, no, Steve Ward used to be over here, but,
But
he's originally
Harry
Scottish.
is. He
Harry's
does have
English,
your
yeah.
girl. I know her as well. I can't think of her off the top of my head. But yeah, they do Gravity and stuff now.
Yeah, he runs about with Jordan Clark.
Yeah.
So,
So yes, I did actually know them way back in the day.
and Hannah Roberts as well, I think, from like down the country. used to have,
Oh yes, of course. Yeah. It's actually the funniest story ever, right? Because I wasn't allowed to lower my car, right?
Like the, like all the
You know the crack, right? And my dad was like, so do you know the way, right, this is how it started. I wasn't allowed to lower the car, And I was like, right, how the fuck can I lower this thing, right, without my dad knowing, right? And I was researching, like, fuck, like, I knew nothing about cars, right? Like, I knew, especially modifying cars. And I had to figure this all out for myself. So I was researching, and I was like, right, bags, I can do bags on this thing. I was like, okay, I can lift it up and down, I can go home, set at standard height, he'll never know, go out the road, and I can have a deck. Perfect. I was like, this is a great solution, right? So anyway, I brought it to Peyton. He did everything. He was the man.
Was yours the Rayburn bags?
I'm not even sure what bags were. Like,
I think yours was done Rayburn bags.
Was it?
Yeah,
I wouldn't even know.
I think your car was done at a very similar time to my 207. And I remember, I think I'd asked him about the bags, and he was like, oh yeah, like there's the Rayburn bags, they don't do airlift or AccuAir for your car.
I actually think there was an issue with that. Now you're saying, oh, I didn't give a shit. I just wanted it low.
They're in sleeve bags then?
Yeah, they were prone to leaking.
Yeah, the sleeve ones. They've come on leaps and bounds now, bags.
Hugely.
Like, it's crazy.
Bag technology's unreal. Like,
Yeah.
that's not a word I ever thought I'd be saying, but like...
Gotcha. Everyone's gonna like unfollow you now.
Cancelled.
Yeah.
Like, but honestly, like, it's something like it's not something I ever thought I'd be saying, but like, yeah, like compared to, and it's so customizable now. Like, what you can do, especially if you buy like say BC coilovers, you can basically fucking bag whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Apart from mine, because BC wouldn't fucking sell me coilovers for the Sierra. The wankers.
Oh, dicks.
Not that you had any issues with
sponsor me
coilovers.
one day.
I would love that sponsorship.
I know,
but-
that would be nice. But yeah, no, I was, so I ended up going to Peyton, and then I got my bags, and I was so happy with it. But I asked him to put it in like a really inconspicuous place, right? Do you remember on the courses they have circular air vents?
Yeah.
And it was a manual setup at that stage.
Yeah.
You couldn't even get V2 at that. Was it maybe just coming on the
yours
same?
was like the proper, yeah. Because I
Yeah.
remember your setup, yeah.
Two-way manual setup. I was like, this is brilliant. So he took the vents, but there was this big bright luminous thing. Well, my dad asked me to give him a lift one night home from the pub, right? And Nicole Ritchie, she was in the passenger seat. This fucking thing was lighting up his face. I knew he was going to ask what it was. So me and Nicole put an air freshener over it and just stuck it over this like manual like controller. And anyway, halfway down the road, the compressor kicks in, and all my dad's in the back. He's like, "What's that? What's that noise and all?" And then the air freshener fell off, and it was just a disaster. But he never figured it out. He was too steaming. To this day, he doesn't know. To this day, he does not know that car was bagged.
Seriously?
He'll know now. So
It's the same story
made
with
you want to
207.
lower the car though?
I do know. I was driving down the road. I'm in the passenger seat, my dad was driving, and I remember seeing this white Volkswagen Jetta going out the Downpatrick Road from Saintfield, going out the Downpatrick Road, and I was like, this thing was bouncing down the road. I was like, I want to be like that. I think I was like 14, 15. I loved it. And then ever since I seen that, I was like, that's what I want to do. That's so cool. And that was
I think that's kind of the way a lot of us are. Like, and how we,
It's the scene here. It's actually growing up in this country and the culture.
So in episode 71, we talked about, I suppose, our favourite moments of the year.
Yeah, it was kind of like our year, not the podcast year, our year.
And we may not have had a clue what to speak about in that podcast, but it ended up being a savage listen.
It was a good old yarn, to be fair. I got a lot of compliments. Not one. I say a lot of like 3, because there's only like 3 listeners. But like, can I even use that joke now? 722 compliments, maybe. You.
Lad, your phone's going off.
You were alluding to nearly getting fucking read off earlier.
Yes, brilliant day.
Mega day. We, apart from the fact that the one bit of clear road we got, Adam was sitting searching for his water bottle. And I was so cross. I was like, there's no traffic here. Why have you not put the foot in it?
But all I can think about in a straight road like that there is, what if an animal runs out on you?
Yeah, that is true, but I just wanted to...
I've had this happen to me before.
Yeah.
And then, game over.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it absolutely can happen.
So maybe this is why I did her.
All I know is I was behind Adam, and I kept like, he was like searching for his water bottle, and I was like, this is literally prime territory to like go. And
he did not.
He did not. I was so cross. I was so cross. But I had the only thing that annoyed me about that day was my car was having an issue with the idling. So like when we were coming into, like, we sat in Carnlough for quite a while. Not to mention that my car is fucking roasting to sit in. I have no aircon. The heat seems to be permanently stuck to full temp.
Nice.
Yep, there's your sleep alarm going.
There's 11:30.
And I was lying there, and like, because I've done a wire, because Ali has the wire tuck done, and this isn't a fault of Ali's, this is just what had to be done because I wanted a wire tuck. You have to run the wires in behind the dash, which is how it's done on mine, and that interferes with where the different vents go. So
Yes.
one of the vents has been pulled out to allow the wires to go through, and that just directs all the heat down to my feet. So I have heat literally to the windscreen and to my feet. So you're kind of sitting there being like, it's same with the rally, because you're sitting in traffic, you have your fans on, you have the heat on full blast to try and just keep the car cool. And like literally we're sitting there, me and Becca were sitting opening the door, fanning ourselves like. So I was doing the same in Carnlough, and I remember just sitting there being like, oh, fucking kill me now, this is so warm. And then I also had to sit like and go bum 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 and rev the throttle because so feared of her dying out. And like same thing happened again. Me and Becca went to the port not long after that, and sitting in, like, I went to Port Rush the full way in the traffic, sat in the traffic jam, and she was dead on, but she just kept fucking dying out. But she'd start, no bother.
Yeah.
It just was
Died out.
embarrassing that she died out. But yeah, that was a great day. And then the way home, we were stuck behind a couple of cars, so I put the foot down first, then Adam put the foot down, and then you put the foot down, and then some fucking dickhead who wasn't looking came
Pulled
out of a
out.
junction and pulled out in front of you.
Yeah, and I would have been writ off.
Yeah, and admittedly because I didn't even see it, but Adam did. Yeah.
I was pretty much past the car I was overtaking. The car came out onto my lane from a road end.
Yeah, it was an Insignia or something, wasn't it? Yeah, because I remember seeing the Insignia drive up, and I was like, all right. But
Aye.
like, did you get a premonition or anything? Did you think, this boy's going to drive out in front of me? Or did you...
I was like, no, don't act. And then evasive maneuvers.
I had a similar thing happen to me. Oh fuck, I was in 207 at the time. 207 wasn't even in Hydro at the time. That's how long ago this was. Largy Lane, just outside Andy Hamill's house. Royal Mail van. I was overtaking someone on that straight bit of road just before the Muckler Amer Primary School. A fella pulled out. I may actually have been out of Andy Hamill's lane. Pulled out. Royal Mail van just pulled out. Wasn't looking. Pulled out in front of me as I was overtaking. And I literally swerved, and only I was far enough past the person in front, I'd have been dead. Like,
It was probably something similar to that there. Like I'd probably say I'd locked up all four wheels over the head of it.
I didn't even get a chance to
And
brake.
then
I just
the back end wiggled on me, if you know what I mean.
Fuck me, like.
It turns out it had seized caliper on one side as well, which didn't help out at the back. Which then we took in and tried to get it sorted out.
Yeah, bit of a dampener for that day, like. Unfortunately, it's kind of a cruel end. Or
And
not
by
cruel end,
pure
but
chance, Gemma was looking at her phone, so didn't see it happening.
Yeah.
Or you never
Well,
know,
get
her
it.
screaming or that there could have been different.
yeah,
like.
different story. Could have put you off, is right. Episode 72, then, our final episode, well, apart from this one, obviously, of the year.
Very guest.
Andrew Morton came back on the podcast, one of our very few returning guests.
He has now really became a great friend.
Yeah, savage man. I was on the phone to him the other day for like an hour and a half, but he was on. The whole premise was we want to get like kind of like an update in the tractor pull and stuff. Farmflex had released their dates for the next on the pull. They've called it The Last Dance. I kind of hope it's not that, but we'll see how things go. And we basically just sat and talked about our dream matchups and the things we'd love to see, and hopefully this can be a bit of manifestation, if nothing else.
Well, I've seen a lot of manifestation recently, and yeah, hopefully very much for that.
I would like to see Cook back in Big Blue again.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. We need a tug or not versus Big Blue.
Has to
round
happen.
3.
If this is the last year on the poll, it has to be.
Like,
even a best of 3. So if some of them does make a slip up,
yeah.
yes.
So obviously the first year, Cook wiped Adrian.
Oh, yeah.
Like absolutely wiped them.
Yep.
Last year, definitely closer.
Oh, it was a lot closer. Like,
Definitely closer.
It was a lot closer, but it was also nice to see Big Blue beat all ones 84-80. For I know it was the first year I'm pretty sure all one did walk blue, or it was maybe close a bit.
No, it was. I think did Alistair caught him at the end of the hill.
Just about.
But then as they got to the bars, then
but I know
Owen Young
this
is
year
fast and around the bars, as you say.
He is. Even as young boys, good to watch too.
Matthew.
He can steer. So he can drive. But it'd be nice to see the two Big Blues again, or the two Genesis going ahead of each other again.
But who would you put the Tugmeister again? The 8050?
Keely's Magnum.
Now there's a shout.
Keely's Magnum. If Stephen enters it, that is, or if he goes, that would be nice. I have no idea what else you would want to put it against.
Yeah,
his 942.
It's not the same, but
nah, I don't think it.
You've got two tractors there.
The Tugmeister against the Tuggernaut.
No. It has to be. It has to be the two Genesis.
Yeah, it has to be Blue, Big Blue versus.
There's a thing though. Who would you back? Or who would you put a bet on if you're a betting man? Like?
Between Stephen and Adrian?
Adrian and Alistair. I know.
Lads, I'm sorry because I know both of you listen. Fuck.
Adrian will be sitting, you'll see him sitting the iron down now. Right, Michael, come on, what one is it? Fucking the steam come out to him and out of the iron next.
Adrian will be having me dragged in that dark room and beaten.
Because Adrian has bought me pints before, I'd go for Adrian.
The fuck are you? I bought you pints before, would you back me in?
Would I? Yes.
Oh, good man. I'll buy you another pint in.
I think if Adrian's tractor's going to go the way it's going, like, neither man's a bad driver, but if Adrian's tractor's going the way it's going and Alistair doesn't make any real changes, Adrian will probably have him from a spec advantage.
I would don't know who I would back. In two cents, I would like to see them both get it. I would like to see Adrian get it because from Alistair giving him that big of a fucking ass whooping the first year. The same time, I would like to see Cook get it because Big Blue kind of set the benchmark for the whole thing. So, but I just know it would be interesting to see. Like.
To be fair, another good matchup, in my opinion, would be Adrian's 165 versus Dwayne's 155.
That would be a good one too.
I'm sure both will be set up.
I think Tugwell's 165's over the 2 mark now, like.
And I'm sure Dwayne's
probably
over the 2 mark.
Dwayne will be fat on early. Can't take Richard Bradley this time, right enough. Bradley's not going to do that with a tractor.
Probably knows they could pull the PTO dyno around and get the
Dwayne knows the right man to talk to about New Hollands. So
Sam Cole,
another listener.
Yeah.
What about Adrian's wee garden tractor, the wee small Fendt, the baby Fendt? What would you actually put it against?
What horsepower would it be?
I think it's 130.
I think so, something like that.
I think she did see a bit of a touch of the computer. I think she's out of the warranty package. Like, I'm nearly sure she was touched by the computer.
I know what you put up against. I really
it's
don't.
A very weird matchup, but her against Ken Cook's TS 115 engined County.
Franken County.
The Franken County.
That would be really different.
It would be.
That's a good wee tractor. That'd be 1374. That's a good wee tractor.
John's on 6910. No, I get mad. That's the Blavian powers and all now. It's well over. It was 180 something.
170. It was 170 for the last run.
Maybe it is.
Maybe that'd be a good thing to go against Dwayne.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it doesn't go against Birdie.
Maybe. I put the 70 up against him too for the crack. Like. So in similar power, just 175 or something she is.
If it would be out in time, Gareth's Magnum.
Right enough.
I forgot about that.
I forgot about her too.
And even against the mule. Because,
like
the mules
I think the mule will be a step further than the Mag. I think
for the mule.
I think Gareth chatted about a while. I know he did years ago about trying to put that tractor on a big baler, a Heston or something like that.
Oh,
there was chat about that years ago now, but I don't know if that'll happen or not. Like,
because would you say the mule has went to the stage where she could go against the likes of Big Blue and the Tug or not?
Damn close.
Would that be a good race?
A severe disadvantage for Gareth, like
for
Gareth
gears
McGrath,
versus the buttons.
True, yeah.
That's the only thing. But it'll be interesting to see, like. So it'll be, but depending on what way Shane, gives his touch to the 14, that could be another good one.
Absolutely.
So it could be.
Is he possibly aiming for big horsepower with her?
I think so.
I mean, the man's mental, so yeah. I would imagine so.
Michael, just again reiterating it, just what a year.
What a year.
Like, to set out in January, to say who we've managed to get on, who has given us the time, the events we've attended, the achievements we've had, the many's a cold evening in here.
So many cold evenings.
Maybe someday we'll get that sorted. I suppose it's like anything, everyone. We're hoping maybe to get bigger and better. We've a couple of ideas for 2026. Obviously, we'll release as they become more come to fruition. Yeah, as they come to fruition. Like, we hope you've enjoyed every podcast that's been this year. I know there's been 722 of you have really enjoyed it, and we hope we can continue to keep you all. And
we'll be top of your podcast list again next year too.
Like, it's been amazing to be here, freezing the balls for sale, and in the summertime, not freezing the balls for sale just so much, but like, for myself and Michael, thanks a million for listening.
We really, really, really do appreciate it.
And hopefully, for many years to come, we can be sat here continuing to do this.
And freezing our balls off.
But on a wee side note, this goes out just before Christmas.
Hence the Christmas hats.
And also,
which were bought for the 2023 Christmas episode and were never used.
The last date, if anybody is looking to get merch or that, there is the 15th of December, just so you're guaranteed the postage to come.
Yeah.
Get on to Visual Antics and go under the Limited Slip Differences page, and treat yourself.
Yeah, you should. Absolutely.
Like, it's all a really hard year of it.
Yeah, and
treat yourself.
And you deserve some LSD merch,
and
really.
Just think about it. The more you treat yourself, the better this podcast can become. Because without yourselves, we'll maybe not be as broke. We're still very broke, but we'll maybe not be as broke.
We'll still be pretty broke, like, to be fair.
Yeah. But for myself and Michael,
happy Christmas and happy New Year, and stay safe on the roads or the bar or wherever you frequent this Christmas. Just
stay safe
and have a good one.
And as always,
don't tear up the ground when you're on the pole.
You shouldn't be in the ground, but if you are,
don't tear up the ground when you're on the pole.